All right, all right, all right. What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is up? The catch, Sam. Hope everyone's doing wonderful tonight, man. We've got Steven in the house who's just roasting me about Madden. What's up, Steve?
Nothing much, man. I got the haircut, as you can see. Chopped the hair a little bit. I decided to keep the hat off to show the catch fam. You like what you see?
I actually thought your hair looked a little different, but I didn't feel
Yeah.
like talking about it. So
Yeah.
uh,
Need to put some product in it.
that's the biggest update you've got for our subscribers, huh? Since you last
that is. Well, I mean, there's a couple other things. I mean, obviously, we saw Von Miller, Derrick Henry. There's been a couple things in the news circulating, but I think my hair takes a good priority for sure. As Richard Glass would probably agree, hair is a big deal.
Well, hey, I can't deny that part, man. Richard,
why don't you lift your hat off?
Dude, I just look funny when I swear I can't look at myself when I don't have a hat on. I am too scared to take my hat off on live stream. I'm not gonna deny it. Richard Glass, whoa, someone has hair. Jeek, what's going on, brother? Good to have you here tonight. Yeah, we're just hitting some fantasy Q&A tonight, man. It's gonna be a good time. That's all we've got on the ballot for the night. So must start kickers will come out either after the stream or right first thing in the morning. But position groups will be released as singular videos this week, so we won't be doing the must start segments during the live stream. So just Q&A, man. I mean, we got a lot to go over, guys. This is a crucial point in the fantasy season. Okay, this is your make it or break it time, man. If you're not in the playoff hunt right now, this is your last chance to make it in, right? If you are in the playoff hunt, this is that scary time where you can be knocked out, right?
Yeah.
I'm number 4 in our league, Steven, and I feel like I'm still number 10.
Yeah, I mean,
I just jumped from 10 to 4.
Our league's pretty competitive, man. I think everybody has like the same record, so depending on how competitive your respective league is, I mean, the difference between number 4 and number 10 or 11 could be, a game or two, right? So definitely, don't get too discouraged. We are at the halfway point, but another thing to think about in terms of strategy when, positioning yourself for the back stretch is if you're a top team, maybe you do consider building for that playoff run, building for future assets that are probably have a way bigger back end upside, and maybe peeling off a couple guys that were killers in the beginning of that in that season, right? Because some people were dominating, but is their fantasy value really something you can bake into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I like how you hit a loud punch with that one, man. Yeah, we really do need to get some content together for you guys, just focusing on fantasy playoffs. But I'm assuming for most leagues it started in week 13, right? Week 13 through 16, or is it 13 through 17?
I think it's probably 15 through 17, right? Because or somewhere in between that group, you might have 14. I can check our league real quick.
We got to get prepared, guys. I mean, this season is flying by. But nonetheless, man, let us know what you guys got on the queue for the night. I mean, week 9 is here. Week 8 is officially behind us, right? Chiefs Giants is over with.
Wow, that was an interesting game.
It was.
Can I just go on a rant real quick, right?
Yeah, let's.
I was talking about it a little bit in the Catch Fam League chat, but it is so frustrating to see what the Chiefs are doing right now, because I genuinely feel like this is an easy fix to solve what the Chiefs are doing. And call me crazy, maybe I'm just like overstepping here, but I mean, it's just so blatant to me that they just don't know how to take what's given to them. And that's one of the things that has always separated guys like Tom Brady and the Patriots over the years, and even with the Buccaneers so far. But they're not too greedy, right? And the Chiefs, they've always been able to do that. They've always been able to go for gold every single time, but sometimes you just have to take a smart play. And the best thing that I can really look at is that first drive of the Giants-Chiefs game. It was like the Chiefs were just marching up and down the field, just little dink and dunk passes, 10-yard passes. Peyton and Eli on their broadcast were talking about how he's making the right calls. And then at the ends and in the goal line, right, For some reason, Andy Reid draws up a triple option pass play, trick play, and Mahomes throws a pick, right? Because he doesn't know how to just take what's given to him. And whenever they run the ball too, it's like there's these wide open lanes, right? It doesn't even matter who's running the ball for them. I mean, Frank Gore's like third cousin was running the ball the other day, right?
That's what I was saying last night. I was like, is this Frank? I think Frank Gore is out there in disguise. They signed Frank Gore and they didn't tell anyone. Yeah. Do you think that interception on that first drive was Patrick Mahomes' fault?
Yeah, to a certain degree, I do, because I get it. Like it was dropped, it was tipped, right? But that's been a series of a ton of his interceptions this year. And you can put a lot of a blame on a tip pass for the receiver, but a lot of it has to do with where you're putting the ball, how hard you're putting that ball there, and just like, why are you forcing it, right? In my opinion, I don't think there was a reason for Mahomes to do that. He's also doing these jump passes, which Peyton and Eli specifically were like, what the hell are you doing, right? So I don't know. I think it's just kind of funny too, because if you were watching the Peyton Eli broadcast, seeing these pure pocket passers, which are Hall of Fame quarterbacks, watch a guy like Mahomes, who's just so different, right? It's just like they were kind of baffled by what was going on.
I also have to comment on in the first quarter when they had Jon Stewart on there, who's a Giants fan, and he was just trashing the Giants. And Peyton and Eli kept looking at each other like, because every play, Jon Stewart would be like, God, we're awful. He was just like, oh, okay, yeah, throw a 6-yard pass on 3rd and 10. That makes a lot of sense. These guys are geniuses, right, guys? And Peyton and Eli would be like, oh, okay, let's change the conversation here.
It's like me watching the Colts game. It's like watching me, like, it's been just roasting on the Colts sometimes. But I mean, yeah, it's nuts. I will say this too. I heard that Patrick Mahomes and Zach Wilson have like very similar efficiency on the season right now. I know Mahomes is leading the NFL in interceptions, right? But yeah, it's really interesting to see how this game's going to go out.
Overreaction. I got one for you. The Chiefs have saved their season with this victory.
I think it's overreaction because if you look over the next few games, they got some really hard opponents, right? And it dates back to, it kind of makes me think about when we were going over the preseason review of each team. You specifically talked about how this could not be the Chiefs' year, right? You were down on the Chiefs and you said that their schedule is so brutal. You got the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos might make some noise. And those are things you looked at, but we've also seen a lot of teams that are usually crappy step up to the plate as well. I just am starting to really doubt that the Chiefs are going to actually make a strong playoff push here because that Giants game, 10.5-point favorites, they barely won, right? It's just ridiculous.
I'm just trying to argue with you in every way I can. So
no, I mean, I think the bigger overreaction is I've heard some people just joke about, is Andy Reid past his prime and stuff like that. And maybe that's an overreaction, but it does seem that like Andy Reid like is just always trying to do too much. So always trying to outcoach himself, it seems like.
Yeah. So I think they're fair points. We can get more into a little bit of week 8 reaction as well. But let's go ahead and hop into some of the chat here. Nice tangent by Steven there. Juke, Devonte Parker, Bateman, Corey Davis, Javonte Williams at my flex. I like Devonte Parker this week.
I'm massive on him.
He's my top waiver priority, and I need him more than you. You can't even be mad.
Oh my gosh, dude. I didn't know that. You can't be mad. I didn't
know I need him. Look at my team, bro. I got Randall Cobb and Tim Patrick in my starting lineup and Antonio Brown on the bench.
Dude, Devonte Parker's going to kill it this week against Houston.
Well, I sure hope so. Outside of that, I need to double check who the Jets play this weekend.
Jets are playing the Colts Thursday night.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, that's right. Good matchup. I like that matchup for Corey Davis. I feel like he's due for a good game as well. So I'd consider Corey Davis there as well, Juke. And then you can always take a swing on Javonte Williams, man. I'm not going to talk you out of my guy Javonte Williams, but he's been incredibly inconsistent. I mean, you could argue he's been consistent, but just not consistently great. Yeah. He is about as touchdown dependent as they come. And the problem right now is Melvin Gordon is playing fine. Melvin Gordon's a top 20 back.
He's playing good.
Javonte is right outside the top 20, but Melvin's top 20 back. Okay, and he's stealing those touchdowns like he did last week. So
he's gotten the red zone touches too.
Yeah, as long as it's full PPR, Duke, I'd lean Parker and Davis. I think Bateman's a fine option, but I think we want to give that just one more week, right? I mean, he's done fine in the first 2 appearances, but Sammy Watkins is coming back into this Ravens offense, and that could affect things for our guy Bateman as well. So I'd lean Parker and Davis with the biggest upside there.
Yeah, I agree.
Steven agrees. Sorry, Steven.
No, I was just going to say, too, that one thing with Corey Davis that, because I believe he's coming back this week, right? And so the one thing that I want to monitor, right, is we've seen Mike White place an emphasis on targeting the running back out of the passing game, which has kind of made him a more efficient quarterback option than Zach Wilson. And that's why Michael Carter had a massive game, and he's been upticking as well. So I wonder if Corey Davis is as safe there without Zach Wilson because they had such a great chemistry. Mike White, I don't know if he's going to do exactly that. So I don't know.
It's a fair point. But Mike White is
he's a beast, dude.
Next Hall of Fame quarterback in the league.
The next
so, yeah, I mean, did you see that tweet that they showed from Mike White's 2013?
No, what was it?
He said, "Hey, Peyton Manning, one day I'm going to beat all your records," or something like that.
My God!
They showed it on the Peyton and Eli last night.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It's a good point. I mean, it's a fair argument, but I still think looking at these players, as long as it's full PPR juke, those are the biggest upside plays. But Parker for sure, and he could argue between Davis and Williams. I think we leave Bateman out of the equation for now. Ronald, what's going on, man? Always good to have you here. Thanks for coming out tonight. Richard, I won 2 of my games yesterday because Kelsey stunk it up.
Yeah,
he was stinky yesterday. Ewick, I lost my game yesterday because Kelsey went to poop. Yeah, lots of poopy.
Did the Chiefs just make a trade today for a tight end? They traded a lineman for a tight end. Is Kelsey low-key hurt or something? I don't understand what's going on.
Listen, I do think that, one thing I wanted to bring up, right, as we continue to get in the chat here is no trades, really. I mean,
Melvin Ingram.
I would say Melvin Ingram got traded to the Chiefs for a 6th-round pick, but that's about it. And not to interrupt that train of thought, but I'm seeing here now, Juke, that Corey Davis is questionable with that hip injury for Thursday night. So you might not be starting Corey Davis.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as well, Juke. You're going to have to monitor that leading up to Thursday night. But Jalen Smith got released from the Packers. Deshaun Jackson got released.
Yeah.
Nothing really came out today. I mean, we don't really like to get into it, right? It's an unfortunate news story, but of course the situation with Henry Ruggs happened today, so he's probably going to be a player that you can go ahead and drop from your fantasy rosters, I would assume. But other than that, nothing cool happened. I was expecting a cool trade. I mean, the Von Miller trade is the craziest thing that happened, right? No cool. Yeah.
I just kind of also want to throw one more guy out here before we continue. That is a potential. Maybe you drop him because of off-field stuff, but can you drop a guy like Kelvin Ridley? Do you trade him? Do you wait a couple weeks? What do you do? Because depending on your league too, your trade deadline might be coming up, and maybe you try to capitalize, go after one of those top teams. Because I know if somebody traded me Kelvin Ridley for somebody, I might take it and just put him on my bench. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's borderline. I don't know when he's going to suit up. Right.
We talked about this a little bit over the past 2 days, especially yesterday. And we kind of came to the same conclusion. He is a good receiver to add to a package deal for sure. Or if there's a top team out there who you want to, take a swing at and just offer him as a one for one, it's worth it. But I don't think he's necessarily worth dropping. Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pain, right? Because you're not going to really know what's going on. Even after 3 weeks finishes up, is he going to come back? Right. It's hard to say, but I don't think he's worth just flat out dropping. I think if you're in a really bad position, you need to win right now, then you consider it. But you just have to understand if and when you drop him, you're probably not going to get him back.
Yeah.
But it's a good topic to bring up as well. Ronald, Big Red will adjust. He can't manage timeouts or a clock, but the man can drop offensive plays. True. It will fix itself. Cream rises to the top, and the individial players are cream of the crop. Look at that.
I love that, dude. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life, dude. That is amazing.
Great analysis there, Ronald. Ron the Goat, what's up, Catch Fam? What's up, Ron?
What is up, Ron?
Ronald at Juke, I would go Parker Davis will be injured. Javonte is still the timeshare, and Bateman is more of a boomer bust play than Parker is, in my honest opinion. Juke, that's what I was thinking. Thank you. Yeah, basically spot on with what we said as well.
Yeah, his target share is
Mr.
nuts.
Mr. Curly Wolf, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. Thanks for coming out to the catch. Should I consider the fact that considering the injuries stacking, is it realistic to assume they might not even use Barkley this year? Steven, as a Barkley owner, what do you think?
I was just considering this today, as I was just kind of exploring like people to trade off of my team right now. I've got Barkley, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with him, because the latest report that came out that I saw before coming into that Chiefs game was that there's a lot of swelling, right, and pain out of that ankle. Under no circumstance is that a promising sign to me. They did say he might go against the Raiders, but like he's going to get limited time, and we've seen Booker just play out of his mind. I mean, he's played great. So there's no way Saquon comes back for the next like 3 to 4 weeks at even like a 70% utilization rate compared to what he was doing. So I don't know. I mean, I think if you've got Barkley, what you're hoping is that come playoffs for your fantasy football leagues, he is there to be your guy, right?
Yeah.
Because what we saw out of Barkley is, even coming off the original injury from the preseason, is this guy has game-winning type of weeks, right? So I would say the only reason you would trade him is if you're in a win now mode or trying to get off of him, right? Because that injury could be there, but the value is so high still.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the upside down the stretch, I I would be willing to hold on him. I mean, it's kind of similar to CMC, right? Like, I've been in like a win now situation since like week 3 of our season, and somehow I've won like 4 in a row. I don't really understand.
You're killing it.
Three in a row.
Yeah,
because I beat you week 1, but I could have definitely traded Christian McCaffrey over the past couple of weeks to help aid my team get in a better win now position, right? And my thoughts are just, I'd rather have Christian McCaffrey down the stretch, even if it's 2 games, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to really enjoy having Chris McCaffrey for those 2 games. So even if you only get Barkley for 3 to 5 games on the year, if it helps position you in the playoffs or win a playoff game, then it's worth it, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, the only downside to this Giants Barkley situation is that with the Cowboys running out to a full steam ahead approach on this division, not looking like there's going to be 2 teams that come out of here for a playoff bid with how competitive the NFC is, there is a chance that if this injury is lagging next few weeks, then the Giants consider to shut him down. Kind of like the Panthers did with Christian McCaffrey last year, just because they were totally out of the chances.
Sure. All right, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button while you're hanging out tonight. Make sure if you're new here, you hit that sub button down below and become part of the Catch fam tonight. And let's keep on rolling, man. Great fantasy Q&A. Keep up the live chat, guys. You guys are absolutely killing it tonight already. All right, our Ronnie goat. John, you're not going to like this, but I sold my man Henderson and Waller for Kelsey and Dalvin Cook. Oh, no. D10D's off the board. I don't hate that trade. I think that's a pretty good trade. If these were preseason rankings, you would have absolutely destroyed this trade.
Seriously.
I mean, Travis Kelce was going like 5th overall, 6th overall, and Dalvin Cook was going 3rd overall, 2nd overall. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I think the value is there, and this could be a play for this stretch as well that really helps you out. But I love my guy Darrell Henderson. But even with Kelce's bad performance yesterday and a little bit of inconsistency, he's still going to be, he might still be tight end 1 after last week. Let me check. But regardless, he's a top 3 tight end. And I think he's actually quite an upgrade from Darren Waller. He's been extremely disappointing on the season.
Fantastic upgrade. And I would also say that the one cool thing about this, and the fact that how long you waited, you were able to enjoy like one of the best rides in terms of fantasy schedules for the running back position in Henderson. And now you're offloading him kind of on the back half of that too, right? He's still got a great fantasy schedule rest of the season, but the fact that you got to enjoy that, probably got a win or 2 out of that as well, playing against teams like Detroit and Houston, that's great, right? And now you get to package that deal, get off of Waller, who's been playing pretty bad, and get Kelsey and Cook. I like that deal, honestly, at this point.
And yes, I did check. Kelsey is still tight end 1 on the year. So And while we're here, we might as well, if I can use my phone correctly. Waller, oh gosh, he's number 10. So it's a big upgrade for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Waller's still with the little question mark by his name as well. All right, Mr. Curly Wolf, thanks, Ronald. There you go. Ronald always giving that fire fantasy advice in the chat. Wild Boy Trey, Javonte Williams is good for receptions. He is, but so is Melvin Gordon to some degree.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Broncos are just 100% committed to splitting this backfield.
Unfortunately, right?
Does it
Unfortunately.
surprise you with
No,
John
I mean,
Elway?
John, we were talking. We have a little trade discussion on the back end in our personal league between Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon potentially, and it's literally like just trading one person for the other. Right?
It is.
I will say, back in that Cleveland game, it did really seem like the Broncos were giving a little bit of a nod to Williams in terms of making him the pass catching back. And I think Gordon maybe in the future is going to become like that true running back for them and not maybe see a ton of passing. But again, I'm trying to predict John Elway, and he's very unpredictable.
I will say this, guys, if you have doubt in either Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams and they're part of your fantasy team, after week 9 where they face Dallas, which is not a good matchup, they've got Philly, a bye week, the Chargers, Kansas City, Detroit, Cincinnati, Las Vegas, the Chargers, and Kansas City, who are all 20th or worse in the league.
Oh, wow.
Including Cincinnati's 27th, Detroit's 30th, Philly's 31st, and the Chargers twice are 28th.
Chargers suck against the run.
They're
making Boston Scott look like a good play this week, man.
Yeah. So keep that in mind if you guys are losing faith in either of those guys. Well, boy, Trey, anybody else happy that Chris Carson is coming back soon? I'm sure plenty of people are.
But is he? I also heard there was also a report that he's out for the year. There's like conflicting reports out there about this guy. I don't know. But I hope he does get out there, though. I think if Seattle can get Carson and Wilson back at the same time, Seattle's right back in the mix, in my opinion. Especially with that Kyler injury, I think that they can really get back into it.
Mr. Curly Wolf, DJ Moore, Saquon for Mike Williams and Swift. Ooh. Okay. DJ Moore still wide receiver 10 on the year. Okay. Even with, a really bad stretch over the last 3 weeks. Saquon, we know what he can do when healthy, when fully healthy, we should specify. Mike Williams, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Single digit fantasy points.
I'm getting scared of him, man.
Deandre Swift, we talked about him last week as RB3 on the year.
Mm-hmm.
Bad week, but the game script just did not support the run game at all. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of, you could argue either side here. I think the higher upside probably lies with DJ Moore and Saquon Barkley.
Really? Okay. I'm kind of on the other side. I'm on the other side. Yeah.
You could argue that too. And I don't mind either sides of this. Ooh.
2
Ron the
weeks
Goat
ago,
says, I'd rather have Saquon over Swift, but that's just me.
Swift's been a badass, man.
He has been great.
What's he, like top 8 right now in the season at running back? And he's had a total dud against Philadelphia, which was really weird to me. But, 2 weeks ago, they had the bye week coming up, and then they had this New England game. And I was like, listen, after that Baltimore game where they got smacked and he was bad, if there's 2 weeks in a row where he obviously doesn't do well because of the tough Patriots matchup in the bye week, this might be a perfect buy low opportunity, right? And I think that's where it is right now. Mike Williams, you can get him at floor value in comparison to what he was doing over the past 4 weeks or the first 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind that. And DeAndre Swift is exactly RB8. But I like that side of things too. I don't really have anything bad to say about either side. You're kind of buying either receiver low compared to where they're at the beginning of the season. And then, you can go back and forth on this one. Let us know in the chat for Mr. Curly Wolf, DJ Moore and Saquon, or Mike Williams and DeAndre Swift. Well, boy, Trey, I'm kind of upset that I traded Michael Carter for Michael Pittman. But let's be real. Pittman is balling. I'm just greedy. Want to keep everyone. Yeah, I get that too. And here's the nice thing is Ty Johnson might be available in your league. And his stats are very, very close to Michael Carter's, right? They're being utilized in very similar fashion. Carter with a little bit of a bigger game on Sunday, but these guys both have double-digit fantasy points in their last 3 matchups, right?
I hate Ty Johnson for the specific reason that he was the reason that there was a bad ref call, and the Cincinnati Bengals lost that game against them for that bullcrap unnecessary roughness where Ty Johnson ducked his head and the defender got hit with the penalty. Oh my gosh, I was so pissed off about that. But I will say this: I love Michael Pittman, man. He is literally is killing it right now. He's absolutely killing it.
You know, I often ponder, Stephen, of our draft night when I could have drafted Mike Williams over Corey Davis, okay, and I could have drafted Michael Pittman over Henry Ruggs. And I often cry in my living room in front of my wife and 2 cats and my unborn child, and I let them know. I also think of when I could have drafted Darrell Henderson over Gus Edwards.
Yeah, that was a spot one.
Think about that. My team would be very good. Do you ever just think back on your draft and you're like, Hollywood Brown, another guy. Oh, okay, let's keep going. Amar, how do you convince last guy to trade? Throw him $100. Mr. Curly Wolf, stay in last place or win it all and trade with me. Ron the Goat agrees. I think you just offer him a good trade that you would offer someone who was in first, second, or third place, right? Just don't overthink it, right? They might be willing to trade, especially if it screws over other teams, right?
This is 2 things here, right? That there's one, sometimes people, when they're in last place, they become like super angry and they just don't really want to like be engaged with the trading process. But I will say, if they are still actively trying to win in their leagues, sometimes you can, take an attack on them and just give them a name value guy, right? Maybe you trade him a Michael Thomas, maybe you trade him a Kelvin Ridley, or maybe you trade him an Odell Beckham in a package. And it looks sexier, right? At face value, you can maybe take advantage of them a little bit there.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a shark mentality.
Now you guys know why I don't like when Steven makes trades. Ronald, my guess is Deshaun goes to the Raiders to replace Ruggs as a field stretcher. I could see that as well. If I was Deshaun Jackson, I'd just go to the biggest contender. Just join Tampa Bay. Why not? Antonio Brown's banged up.
Kansas City.
But that's a good Kansas City could use him. Yeah, but Raiders could use him. Ron the Goat, I just took Kelsey from the last place guy. There you go.
Okay.
Mr. Curly Wolf, then offer Henry Ruggs for his best running back. So, would you trade Eckler for AJ Brown and Montgomery?
I wanted to talk to you about this. I'm going to let you go first.
I'd consider this for sure. But I have to admit it, okay? Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm a little worried about David Montgomery when he comes back from this injury. Because Herbert looks good. Cohen's coming back in the mix, I think. Yeah. I heard he was.
I forgot he was a Bear,
right.
Honestly.
Right. I thought he was supposed to be back like this week or next week, but Williams can run the football. I don't really think he's gonna be the odd man out, but I'm just a little smidge bit worried for my guy David Montgomery, who I really need to take back off like he was doing in the game he got into. But would I do this trade? I definitely consider it if you're hurting enough at the receiver position. And you don't have the same concerns around David Montgomery that I have. So it depends on your roster, Joe, but it's worth the consideration for sure.
So, all right. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because owning Austin Eckler, right? What have we seen throughout his entire career? And a lot of the initial concern with people drafting him in the first or the second round coming into the season when people were doing their mock drafts and everything was, this guy is so injury prone. He's just never there. He's never lasted the full year. And he is banged up, man. He's banged up. Now, you can potentially get off of him at the right time. You are a little bit thinking ahead of things. Maybe you're being a little paranoid like I am. But
it's not to say,
I'm being a little paranoid.
Coming from an Eckler owner. So what's going on with you?
I get it. I'm being paranoid. But what did I just say earlier? I was like, dude, like this is the point in your fantasy season where if you were thriving, which if you have Eckler, you probably are, maybe you get off of him for a sexy package deal. And I think you can get a better deal than that is kind of what my point is to Joe is in our personal leagues and in the Catch Fam League, I feel like if there was a trade offer for a guy like Austin Eckler, which is one of the best running backs in fantasy football right now, best players in fantasy football right now, you can get good value back. Montgomery is super injured and his fantasy value is not the same as it was a few weeks ago before he got hurt. And AJ Brown, man, I do think he's going to be a beast rest of the season, but not alone enough for Eckler.
So I'll trade you Dalton Schultz, David Montgomery for Eckler.
Oh, dude, you're talking Dalton Schultz now. He's got Cooper Rush attached to him. Of course, I'm going to take that deal.
Top 5 player at his position.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Joe, I consider this, but I do agree with Steven. Maybe you can get a little bit more value out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. First name, last name. Michael Carter, Adam Thielen, Chris Godwin. Which one rest of season? Ooh. I think you got to go Godwin just due to the offense that he's attached to, but Thielen's been extremely consistent.
Yeah.
Very underrated. I talked about this yesterday and the day before. I think maybe the most underrated fantasy receiver on the year. Outside of him and Robert Woods, I think are both not getting enough love. Steven looks like he's itching to say something.
I just think that there is a little bit of an asterisk with Chris Godwin right now.
Sure.
They are banged up right now. AB down, Gronkowski down. Some of their bench receivers are down too. I think Johnson and Scotty Mills are hurt. So what that says to me is that Chris Godwin's had his best weeks when those guys are gone. And there's been other weeks where his floor is like, it's relatively stable, but he has had wild card games and it's always a crapshoot. I don't know, right? They just lost a game without those guys. Maybe when they're back, they kind of feed back to other players. But Michael Carter, man, if Mike White, I don't think Mike White's the only reason, right? I think Michael Carter is just a really good back. We talked about him a ton in fantasy preseason. We were super high on him. Both of us were. The one thing with Adam Thielen as well, right? The Vikings are, in a position right now where they have not been doing too great. And the one guy that seems to be lacking as a major impact of this offense does seem to be Justin Jefferson. He's been kind of, disappointing. He's like a borderline wide receiver 3 receiver right now. I think he's sitting around like close to the top 24. So I don't know, man. I actually really like Michael Carter there as well. And running back, how thin it is.
It's a good point.
I think you disagree with it, though. I think you disagree with it.
I mean, part of me is even thinking Adam Thielen's the guy to go with the rest of the season.
Yes.
It's just tough because I like all 3 of those guys at this point in the season.
Mm-hmm.
I still like Michael Carter quite a bit, but Ty Johnson's taking a lot of carries too.
Yes.
That I don't want to trust that backfield.
Yeah, and I guess you are trusting the Jets too. So,
but,
yeah,
I still feel good about them as pickups for the week. I mean, they've still both had double-digit fantasy points the last 3 games, so I still like them, but still the Jets. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big point there, right? And that's why Chris Godwin probably does have the edge, but it also depends on your roster, right? Whatever you're stronger at, I think that's where you take the other guy.
Sure. Chase Brown, I'm 2-6 and I have number 1 waiver claim. I'm thinking about getting Dak, even though I have Josh Allen. Is it worth it to screw other people over?
No.
I mean, here's the thing, right? To some degree, the depth isn't a bad idea. I don't think depth is ever a bad idea, right? But at the same time, it's like, are you really ever going to consider starting Dak over Josh Allen, right? I can't think of a single team that the Bills are going to face this year where I'm like, I think I'll bench Josh Allen,
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you're concerned about an injury to Josh Allen, right, then maybe, but I doubt that you are. So I would say there's enough this week, right? There's enough running backs available. There's enough receivers. Well, not really. There's Devonte Parker. That's like it. It depends on your league, of course, but there's enough flashy players popping up with the Derrick Henry injury, with the Eagles running backs going off, with the Jets running backs going off, Mark Ingram getting some good work, right? Josh Jacobs maybe not playing, James Robinson not playing. There's probably better opportunities for the week. So, Chase, I respect the move. Don't get me wrong, my guy.
Yeah,
I would do this. I would consider the same exact thing, But are you really going to start him ever over Josh Allen? Probably not. So,
and current record is kind of the biggest thing for me there. You are no longer in the position to be trying to screw people over, in my opinion. You're in a win now spot, right?
Sure.
So in those first few weeks, I totally get it. Or maybe if you're like dominating, I totally get it. But now you need guys that are going to help you win this week.
Sure, I can agree at that point as well. Well, boy, Trey, is Javonte Williams for Myles Gaskin a good trade? I think I'd rather have Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. I still don't. I don't want anything to do with Myles Gaskin.
Yeah, landmine.
I mean, they're playing the Texans this week. Like, if you really need to win this week, I think that Gaskins will probably have a pretty good week. But outside of that, and I don't even really trust him because he's had good matchups this year that he's done nothing in. So I'd lean Williams there. Christian, what's going on, man? I did Thielen and Evans for DK and D-Hop. Do you think I won? I have Thielen. So you ended up receiving Thielen, or you had Thielen to begin with and you traded Thielen? I think that this is a pretty even trade either way. D-Hop, Evans, banged up, fluctuate points, very high ceilings, consistent, but also not consistent. Thielen and DK much more consistent in their own respects. So I don't mind this trade, right? But I think I could go back and forth on this one because
man, I kind of like DK and D-Hop here.
Okay, I think I do too.
I
do too. But you could argue either
it's
side.
So fair. It's so fair because both these guys, on each respective side of the deal are very comparable. I don't know. I've been, it's one of those players. D-Hop's one of those guys where I just keep baking in that he's got to hit his stride at some point, right?
Chase Brown, I could get Parker or Beasley with my next waiver. Then I would do that over Dak.
Yeah,
and I'd lean Parker just because there's less targets in that offense. Simon for president. Hey, Catch fam. What's up, Simon? Good to see you as always, my guy. Guys, make sure you're smashing that like button on the way in. If you are new here, make sure you consider subscribing down below, becoming part of the Catch fam. But nonetheless, appreciate everyone coming out tonight. As always, an absolute blast with you guys. Guys, so much to get into, man. We got to catch up on the chat. I apologize, guys. Ron the Goat, I definitely pick up Parker at Chase. Yeah, there you go. Use my first waiver. Yeah, I would, Chase. Matt, what's going on, man? Good to see you here tonight. First name, last name, what's going on, man? Always good to have you here. Michael Carter, Adam Thielen, or Godwin rest of the season? Or should I drop Tom Brady and Kyle Pitts since I have Josh Allen and Darren Waller? So kind of the second part of the first question you asked. So, I mean, this is interesting because we just got done talking about how if you have Josh Allen, like you don't need the depth. But if I have Tom Brady, I'm not dropping him, right?
Yeah.
I'm at least trading him, okay?
Yeah.
But if you can't get a trade, I would keep both those quarterbacks because they might be the two best quarterbacks in fantasy football right now. Maybe outside of Patty Mahomes in that conversation as well. But in terms of consistency, those guys have been amazing on the season. And you guys know I love me some consistency, okay? So I don't know.
I definitely would not get rid of Pitts. I think he's going to be like everything for this Falcons team. I love him this year.
And even if first name, last name, I mean, I don't know how large your league is, right? But if those guys are tradable, which I mean they are tradable, but if they're tradable within your respective league, then you should at least trade them and see what you can get out of it. Even if you're, throwing Tom Brady and Darren Waller together for a trade, just think of the value you can get out of those two names. So I wouldn't drop them per se. Simon for president just got here and hearing you guys talking about Barkley. Yeah. Christian, should I try to get Saquon and send somebody like DK? It depends on your overall roster, right? If you need a receiver, I think it's a fair swap. But you guys know I lean RB heavy, guys. So
DK's been a badass, man. I was looking at the numbers when looking at one of the comments and on the defense video, and dude, DK Metcalf's just been a beast, bro.
Yeah,
he's number 5 on the year, I think.
I don't know off the top of my head, but hey, I gotta support DK all season long. I mean,
he's been a stud, dude.
I mean, that was my guy in the offseason, and I've kind of gotten silent about that. Now he's balling out. I should probably be talking about him a little bit more. Do you remember me getting just roasted in comments for drafting DK Metcalf as like my number 1 receiver? Okay. Simon for president was actually thinking of picking up Booker. Man, Booker's been a phenomenal fill-in for Saquon Barkley. And I'm kind of crossing my fingers that Saquon doesn't play this week because I could use me some
He's been a stud.
Yeah. And him and Daniel Jones get along. He's catching footballs. He had like that 50-yard catch and run. I mean, he's making an impact for this team. The interesting thing will be, even when Saquon comes back, of course, Saquon's a guy. But in my opinion, they're going to continue to utilize Booker to some degree because they know how flimsy Saquon is, right? I mean, Booker's played so well. Why would you not, So I think he's worth, if you own him, I don't think he's worth dropping. I think he's worth letting hang around and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Matt, drop Khalil for McNichols, or maybe drop Gainwell. I would drop Gainwell. Is that crazy? I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not trusting this Eagles
listen,
backfield.
the only person I know that has ever been like a healthy scratcher, just not shown up, gotten any snaps, and then turned out to be good was Zach Moss, week 1, right? I think it's a totally different situation here. I don't know what Gainwell did to piss off the Eagles, but he was just X'd out, man. Boston Scott got the work. Jordan Howard got the work. You're right. I think the biggest thing is I don't trust this team. I don't trust that. I don't trust it at all.
And I still feel good about Boston Scott. Don't ask me why. I just do. I just don't trust Kenneth Gainwell for sure.
I think Boston Scott's going to get the goal line work.
Sure.
With Jordan Howard. Yeah.
And then I think I do have a theory. As soon as we all drop Gainwell, he will score this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we all got away from him. And that's how the Eagles play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll throw Miles Sanders in, right, with a broken ankle, and he'll score a touchdown too. So I just, yes, I think that Howard and Scott are worth the pickups. And I think that right now, Gainwell is a guy we should drop, but all of these backs are going to flash at different points within the season. Okay. And I still think when Miles Sanders comes back, he's eventually going to have a good game too. Eventually, just coincidentally, the way they utilize these backs.
You said the grossest name I've ever heard in my life as a potential
you have
pickup,
been,
and that's
you
Jordan
have not
Howard,
been high. You've not
that's
been
Jordan
high.
Howard.
Oh, Jordan Howard. Hey.
Yeah. I don't know what you were about to say there, but dude, Jordan Howard, I cannot give any endorsement for picking him.
Well, I was going to say, you've been off on Miles Sanders all since the preseason, offseason, and
he will never have a career in Philadelphia.
You got that one right, man.
That is what my opinion is. I don't think he'll ever have a career there.
But yes, guys, in full PPR, I do like McNichols. Okay, I know Peterson's coming on, but I do think that McNichols can have some great half PPR stat lines as well.
Mm-hmm.
Marky Mark, what's going on, Mark? Always great to have you here, my guy. Appreciate you coming out tonight. Let's see here. Wild Boy Trey. Okay, thanks at Ronald, and I do have Javonte. I just like Gaskin's matchup this week. Yeah, and like I said, man, if you want to do it for the week, it might hurt you down the stretch. But if you need to win a game this week, I think we could take a chance on Gaskins. Although last time I told you guys to start Myles Gaskin, right? And who was he facing? The Jaguars?
Yeah, I think it was the Jags. Week. It was
because he played so well against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
So I don't know. Don't take my advice on Myles Gaskin. Ewick, need help. I have AJ Brown, Debo, Mike Williams, CD, but I also have Dalvin, Joe Mixon, and Najee. But who am I starting at flex and receiver and running backs? Do I start 3 running backs or 3 wide receivers? Okay, so I'm assuming, it's 2 RB, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. So for me, I'm going AJ Brown and Debo right now. I'm riding that momentum all day long. Then looking at the the running backs, I'm pretty biased, man. You guys know I like to go RB heavy, so I'd probably go Dalvin, Joe Mixon, and Najee, but it's really going to pay me to bench CD Lamb as well. And so for me, I'm definitely starting Najee and Joe Mixon, and Dalvin Cook's been scaring me, so maybe I consider CD Lamb over him.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is I believe Cooper Rush is still on track to probably be the guy. At least there's a little bit of uncertainty there.
He played amazing.
He did.
CD had a great game.
Yeah, he did. I will say this, right? And I think AJ Brown is still the receiver to play here. But man, I don't know about this. For some reason, I just think that Ramsey's going to tag him because if you got Henry down, you got AJ Brown and a banged up Julio. If you're a smart defensive coordinator, you say let's just get rid of their number 1 option and then just screw the Titans.
That's a good point. I can't argue that. And in that case, you put CD in, you start those 3 running backs with Deebo Samuels. At this point in the season, guys, Deebo Samuel is a must start every single week. Okay, unless we see a massive production in consecutive weeks, can't bitch Deebo. This is one of the best receivers in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Jai Lord, any news on Barkley? All I've got is that Barkley told Lisa Salters of ESPN he didn't play Monday at Kansas City due to too much swelling and soreness in his left ankle. He hopes to be available Sunday against the Raiders. I would not be surprised, guys, okay, if he does not play. Because then he gets this week to rest. He gets the bye week to rest. And he comes out. Then he comes out against Tampa Bay, right? I mean, the Giants can beat the Raiders without Saquon Barkley. If they have Barkley, it certainly helps. right? But if you're looking at this from a coaching standpoint, why not just bench your best player, veteran guy, coming off an injury, give him 2 extra weeks to heal up, and then start him against your hardest matchup for the rest of the season, right? That's how I see this,
I
right?
mean, John, why don't you go ahead and tell them the rest of the schedule? Because as you know, I was talking about earlier, how if you're a Saquon Barkley owner, you want him for that back half, you want him for the playoff run. But go through those lineups those matchups because it's really tasty. It's really good.
So after the bye week, it's an awful matchup versus Tampa Bay, but then you've got Philadelphia, Miami, and the Chargers, all 23rd or worse, including 31 in Philly and 28 in the Chargers. Then another tough matchup, week 15 versus Dallas. But then week 16, you get Philadelphia, and week 17, you get Chicago, which is a tough matchup. But listen, I mean, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks after the bye week, and you're absolutely considering him a must start in at least 4 of those matchups.
Yeah.
So, sorry that's not the best update on Barkley, but my speculation is that he might sit out.
I agree.
And I'm actually crossing my fingers he does. I'm sorry to admit it. First name, last name. Should I drop Tom Brady and Kyle Pitts? I have Josh Allen and Darren Waller. Okay, you're asking in the chat. Okay. Yeah. I hope some of you guys got to some for that. Get your guys' opinions out there as well. Love to see it. The Catch fam coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Dronto, what's going on, man? Will AJ Brown be worse or better with Henry out? You could argue this both ways, right? Steven made a great point for this week. He might be worse, being that they're going against the Rams, right? And that Jalen Ramsey is on the Rams. Now, collectively as a whole, in my opinion, I don't think he'll be necessarily maybe too much better, but I do think that it positively impacts him to some degree.
I think it makes him better.
Yeah. I do too. Who else are you going to lean on, right? You're going to have to get McNichols involved, and Adrian Peterson's coming from the grave, right? You're going to have to get the run game involved because that's what you're so used to doing. But who else are you going to throw to, right? Julio hasn't done anything this year. AJ Brown's a guy, right? And then they're using like the most random players in the world. Okay, Josh Reynolds, and we saw what's their tight end's name?
Anthony Verkser, baby.
Finally scored a touchdown. He was in my top 20 tight ends heading into the season. Haven't done anything all year. So I think it positively impacts AJ Brown for the most part.
Yeah, because the thing about what it does to AJ Brown, I mean, when you look at him as just kind of like an asset in general over his career so far, he's very like big play, low floor kind of guy. But I think if anything, what this does is raises his floor, and his peak ceiling is still like out of the world, right? So that's what I do like about this. I just think the volume is going to be so much higher for him.
Accidentally scrolled down. I just saw Spencer hop in here. What it do?
What is up, Spence?
We've missed you, Spence. Hope you're doing well.
I love you, man. How you doing?
Steven literally loves you. Ronald, I have Javonte in all 3 of my teams, 2 drafts and a trade. I still believe. Yeah. This final stretch of the season will be very telling for Javonte Williams. Ron the Go. Do not drop Brady or Pitts. I'd rather you get something out of a tree, which you meant out of a trade, but I kind of like out of a tree more.
Yeah, I like that better too.
Mark, I wouldn't just drop them first name. Test the trade waters. Yeah, I agree with that, Mark, 100%. Wild Boy Trade, Pete Carroll said he's resuming practice and he'll be back against Green Bay. Okay. It's a great update, Wild Boy Trade. Kyle Singer, trade Mike Gesicki and Hopkins for Patterson and Peterson. I just lost Henry. I have Godwin, Higgins, and Claypool. I have Chris Carson injured, Hunt injured, not Henry. Wow. The remaining RBs are Pirine and Dearness Johnson. So you're trading away Gesicki and Hopkins. You're getting Patterson and Peterson. I would be so. Let's see here. You've still got Godwin, Higgins, and Claypool. So you've still got some receiver depth outside of Hopkins, although it hurts you. You're hurting far more at the running back position than you are at the receiver position.
Yeah.
Now, I would be interested to know what other tight ends you have on your team. But yes, looking at your overall situation, this trade makes a lot of sense. It hurts a little, but it's probably going to hurt more if you have to start Pirine and Johnson, right?
What if Peterson turns into a higher end Devonte Booker type of asset, or, top 15, top 16 back every week with RB1 upside if he falls into the end zone twice?
Yeah.
AP, if he gets the load, which we have seen him over his past couple teams, whenever he gets a chance, he's looked really good. right? You're taking the risk because he could end up just getting cut in a week. But I don't think that's going to happen. I like him, and I think he's a seasoned vet. It's not going to take him long to learn this offense at all. I think he's a perfect plug and play by concept for Derrick Henry. So I believe in him. He's one of the best running backs of all time, if not the best running back of all time.
It is kind of wild. Weren't we just talking about Adrian Peterson like a week ago?
I feel like we
and like,
were, yeah.
If he was back in the NFL, how good he'd be.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, Kyle, I think you definitely consider this. King Marcelo, what's going on? Hope you're doing well tonight. Should I start Carter and PPR this week, or should I lean on Ayuk, Jones, or Smith, who I hate?
Yeah. Carter. Smith is the worst, man. He is the worst. I feel for you there.
Ayuk is the next worst.
Yeah.
Carter for sure.
Yeah.
Carter for sure. And then, I mean, if you had to play one of those other three players, it's Marvin Jones, but not Ayuk or Smith.
Yeah, it's just such a tough matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Smith is probably droppable. Ayuk's probably droppable at this point as well. Chase Brown, thoughts on Rams defense against Henry-less Titans? They're worth starting. I mean, their floor is 7 to 8 points, I think. I mean, I don't know if this ceiling's crazy high, but I don't envision the Titans making a lot of mistakes, right? But I envision them probably struggling as an offense, right? Maybe not putting up a lot of points.
They make the must-start video this week as like kind of a, their last opportunity to really be there because their stretch does get harder. Now, dependent, right, on how this Von Miller deal does go down for them. I'm not imagining an immediate crazy impact, but I do believe he is activated for this game, right? So let me know if I'm wrong there, but I do believe he's activated. He is allowed to play. So that could also help because when we do see all three of those guys together, Ramsey, Donald, and Miller, that's just going to be terrifying. But in terms of this matchup, I do think it's going to be a game of the Titans really trying to figure out what they're going to be doing, right? So if they're going to struggle, it's going to be this week, especially because this is the week where they're figuring out all the kinks.
That is a good point. I like the way you phrase that. Well done, Steven. Everyone, clap hands emojis in the chat for Steven.
I love Ron the Goat's comment here.
I also have 2 cats. Yes. Also, let us know. 2 questions on the night. Ding, 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 ding. What pets do you guys have? A. And B, what did you eat for dinner? It's in the ticker now. It's at the top of the screen. Let us know what you ate for dinner. No one let us know. I had a sandwich, guys. I'm on a sandwich kick. Like when I get home, I just want to eat like a big sandwich.
I am so off of that vibe, dude. I will say I've been sneaking pastrami and Munster cheese throughout the day, but
I bought some fancy cheese.
Guess what I'm going after this? I'm going to go after some good old T-Bizzle. Taco Bizzle, baby. Gonna get some Nacho Bel Grande with just meat and cheese. You already know the struggle, baby.
Allison, my wife, wanted Taco Bell Sunday night. So she got Taco Bell and I ate some nachos. So I can't really say much there. Juke, Michael Pittman is finding his role and it's scary. He is a beast. Yes, he is falling out.
I love him.
Kyle Singer, Rams defense equal beast. Absolutely.
Yep.
Sea-Dog side, Henry and Hunt now hurt, and Fournette's my only running back now that is healthy. I was offered Robinson, Mitchell, and Chenault. Do I have to give up Woods and Waller? But I have to. Do I do it? Another wide receivers other than Woods or DK, Myers, Thielen, and Hollywood. That helps a little bit. Wow. Gosh, this year's been tough, man.
Dude, I kind of like this deal for him.
Okay, I do too. So you're giving up.
You're giving up
Woods and Waller, and you're getting. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. You're getting Robinson, Mitchell, and Chenault. Yes, I think you consider this, and I don't think you. Quite honestly, I don't even really think you need Chenault in that deal, right? If it was just Robinson and Mitchell, I think it's a fine deal. And especially because you're holding on to Hunt and you still got Fournette.
Yeah.
I mean, down the stretch, man, Robinson healthy, Hunt healthy, you got Elijah Mitchell and you got Fournette, and you still have DK, Myers, Thielen, and Hollywood. Now, the tight end position might be a little bit of a struggle, but Waller hasn't been good this year.
No, man. No.
So it's like, I think it's a good trade.
Not to hate on your position too, right? But the tight end position is the least valuable position in terms of actually generating. No. Let me hone in on what I'm saying here. when you look at those skill guys, right, the running back, wide receiver, tight end, they're going to definitely have, outside of maybe 2 or 3 guys, they're going to have the least fantasy points respectively. And Darren Waller historically has been one of those top 2 or 3 guys, but he's the 10th on the season, you said right now? Like, that's bad, yo. That is
there is
really
a
bad.
big
That's
gap
really
between tight end 1 and tight end 3. There's
Yeah.
a big gap between tight end 3 and tight end 5. Between tight end 5 and tight end 10, there is a ginormous gap. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like wide receiver 10 compared to wide receiver 5 or running back 5 compared to running back 10, right? It's like, it's bad. It's a much larger gap. Okay. Even Kelsey still being tight end 1 after that performance. I mean, I'm going on a tangent about tight ends, but yes, you're right about that fact. And yes, C-Dog, you take that trade. I think you take that trade hands down. Ronald Herbert does look good, but at the same time, this is his rookie year. So many just hit a wall when the wear and tear take it. Bears also have a long history playing the vet over talented youngsters. I certainly hope so, Ronald. I mean, I own both of them, so it wouldn't really hurt. But
did he get a little banged up too?
Everyone's a little banged up these days.
That is true. Yeah, I thought I had seen Herbert got hurt. Maybe I'm mistaken for that. Yeah, I think I might have been mistaken on that. But man, Herbert is good though. He's got another tough matchup this week. They're going.
He's just not finding the end zone, man.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a really tough matchup too, man.
Yeah, they shut down Nick Chubb, which I was happy about. So, Matt, Sterling Shepard or Devontae Parker rest of the season? My gut is telling me Devontae Parker. My heart is telling me Sterling Shepard. Now, I'll say this much. I mean, both these guys have history of injuries, but as of now, Sterling Shepard's the injured guy. So maybe you lean Parker here. But when healthy, Sterling Shepard's the more valuable receiver for sure.
Yeah.
Chase Brown, Steven, are you ready to lose this week?
I'm pulling up our game right now if my phone will load. Wow, you were projected to blow me out of the water. Wow. Oh
Does that
my
really surprise you?
Dude, well, I mean, let me just say this, Chase. All right, buddy. You got pretty lucky with Derrick Henry going down the game you play me. Wow, I'm going to have to make some pretty wild moves here. But yeah, you've got a stacked squad in general. The only guy, and I will give you a little bit of fantasy advice, even though I'm a competitor, I'm always looking for improving the catch fam. David Johnson should never be in your lineup.
What was Texans last week running for the back Texans?
Should be no Texans. Yeah, Rex Burkhead, Mr. Rex Burkhead, the old Patriot wildly vet, comes out. He is the guy. Dude, David Johnson can't be anybody's lineup.
Lindsey
right now.
and Johnson combined for like 1.5 points. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just too sketchy, man.
Bryant, what's going on, man? Always good to have you here, man. Chase Brown, also, I'm thinking about dropping Fant. I have Pitts, and I don't think I need Fant. Yeah, that's like probably fine.
Just you can trade him.
Yeah, you could trade him too. Matt, Michael Gallup is also available. Going to my previous question. So Sterling Shepard, Devontae Parker, or Michael Gallup. How do we feel about Michael Gallup, man?
Man.
You don't sound very confident as a Gallup owner over there.
No, I mean, I just think that what we've seen since the injuries, that Wilson's done a pretty good job, at what he does at that role.
Yeah.
But the bigger concern to me is the tight end involvement in this offense. Schultz, Jarwin, I mean, both these guys are stud tight ends, and that takes away from Gallup, right? We did see Gallup really ball out in his limited action week 1. And he's coming off a bit of injury, but I would say, if these guys are fully healthy and come back and, maybe a week out or something, I'd still put Shepard at the top here. But then I would maybe go Gallup and then Parker, just for the fact that he's on the Dallas Cowboys. But man, I don't know. There's a lot of me that really does think that Gallup's going to disappoint a lot of fantasy owners because of that injury.
I don't disagree with that. I think I agree with that evaluation, but the concerning thing is Shepard's injury, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oval 3R, what's up? What's going on, my guy? What up, and other guy? Yes, Steven is the other guy. We're on the go. Fan is on COVID reserve. Maybe put him in your IR spot if you can. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Kyle, why not trade Hopkins? He's dealing with hamstring injury that keeps coming up. Ron the Goat, I agree, John. I'm dropping Gainwell for Carter. I want no part of the Eagles, even Boston Scott. I mean, Carter's an upgrade, in my opinion, as well. Evan, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. Knox and Mike Williams for Kelsey.
I would do that deal.
I think you do that deal.
Oh, actually, hold up a second. Let me.
I don't know when Knox is going to come back, man.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go on this. I'm not going to.
That's all I got to say. I don't know when he's going to truly come back. It's a very tough injury to evaluate. It's a broken hand.
Yeah.
I would probably. I think those two guys sound a little bit cooler to have. But at the same time, it probably is the better idea to just get Kelsey.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Luis, what's going on, man? Pick 2, full PPR, 1 running back, 1 flex. Damon Harris, Herbert, Judy, Devonte Smith. Ooh, I think I'm leaning Damon Harris and Judy here.
Yeah, Judy looked good, man. Judy looked really good.
Like I said, we want to give him that week to get back into the swing of things. These receivers for the Denver Broncos had a beautiful matchup. They did not play very well. Teddy Bridgewater didn't play very well. The run game really supported this game overall.
Way tougher than Judy last week matchup against Washington. Now they got Dallas up next.
It is tougher.
Who knows how they're going to switch up the corners? I mean, I don't think Diggs really follows too much, but I think that secondary is vastly better than that Washington defensive front. Harris is a must play, though. Harris is a must play.
Yeah.
Smith, no.
All right, let's see here. Ron the Goat, 15 people in here and only 11 likes. I need 4 of y'all to hit that thumbs up. There you go, Ron the Goat.
Thank you, Ron.
Everyone smash that like button, man. If you guys are new, hit that sub button down below, baby. Let's see here. Appreciate that support, Ron. Wild Boy Trey. I don't have a need for running back, and I'm 5-3. My running backs are Aaron Jones, Zach Moss, Eli Mitchell, Javonte Williams, and Chris Carson. I just wanted Gaskins because I know I'm greedy. Hey, nothing wrong with being greedy.
I love that running back core right there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Love that running back core. Spencer,
school and work right now, busy part of the year for sure. We understand that, man. We appreciate you coming through whenever you can. And, we miss you, my guy. We miss you. That's all. James Zhao, do you think Debo's production will drop? Ayuk playing a lot of snaps, Kittle coming back, calf injury. Is he worth trading as risky? No, we're keeping Debo.
What is there's so much angst to trade Debo, right?
Keep Debo, guys.
There's so much angst.
Ayuk may have played many more snaps, but you look at what he did, he didn't do a whole lot with it. Okay.
No.
You're lucky in your scoring format if he got you over 9 points. And a big bulk of that came from a 2-point conversion, which he scored that 2-point conversion. He went absolutely crazy. And I was like, okay.
He was like, yes,
okay, Ayuk, chill out, my guy. I mean, in all seriousness, man, I mean, it's a good evaluation. It's a good thought. I mean, of course, Kittle could eat into that. Of course, Ayuk getting more snaps could eat into it. But at the same time, man, you look at the whole season, when Kittle's been there, it hasn't affected Debo. And Ayuk's been there most of the year as well, and it hasn't affected him. And Debo is just too good right now, guys. We really cannot. I mean, you'd have to be offered like a 2-for-1 at least of 2 very, very valuable players. Debo Samuel is one of the best players in fantasy football right now, guys.
He's their entire offense. Like their entire offense. If he could play defense, he would play defense for them.
I don't know. I saw Jimmy Garoppolo run for like
that was pretty nuts, man. That was pretty nuts.
How many scores did that guy have?
Yeah, he was running, man. He looked good.
Duke, I think that AJ Brown will stay about where he is now. Henry made defenses stack the box. I think that defenses won't have to play one-on-one coverage, but I do see him getting more targets. I basically agree with that. That's basically where my analysis is at as well, man. Aiden, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming out tonight. Always good to see you. Chris, I need to drop one in an 8-man PPR between Gibson, Sutton, or T. Higgins.
Sutton is kind of what I want to lean here.
Really? Not Gibson?
Right? No, you can't drop him, man.
You can trade him though, can't you?
You can trade him for sure, as I just did today for my guy Hollywood Brown. Yeah, that's a perfect segue right there. Today
I executed 4 minutes.
I know I was trying not to talk too much about myself after going on a rant for 10 minutes about my hair, but yeah, today I executed a trade for Antonio Gibson on my end for Hollywood Brown on the Ravens. the team that I traded with, he was super running back needy, and I was super wide receiver needy. So I definitely think I won that side of the deal. Gibson scares me as a long-term asset just because of his injury. And while he came out and actually had like one of his first weeks where he didn't have like questionable designation and everything, and he came out and said, "Oh yeah, that injury thing, that's not really there. It's a fluke," right? What we saw was that he continued to lose more and more snaps to McKissick, and he actually started losing snaps to Patterson, the rookie, who's a very talented running back as well. So I think in terms of what you do with Gibson, he doesn't have a great schedule either rest of the season. Coming off that bye week, I would look to trade on this guy. But he's a running back. He was drafted in the first 3 rounds. You could still trade him.
Yeah, and to get back to the question, because I'm starting to go, I was going to go on a tangent there. I think it's Sutton or T. Higgins. They're both very similar in terms of their offenses. There's 3 receivers in each offense that can play. I think you hold on to Gibson, maybe just due to the fact that he takes back off as an RB1, and RB1s are so thin right now. And then it's really between Sutton or T. Higgins. And being that Sutton plays closer to a number 1 position than T. Higgins, I would argue, in that offense, maybe leading with T. Higgins. But for me, it's Sutton or T. Higgins. It's tough, though. Kyle, Jared Cook is my second tight end. Okay. I think you roll with that trade, man. Man, I'm not like completely confident in Jared Cook, but I still think the trade is good enough that you take it. Adam, what side do you like in a Damon Harris and Judy for Terry and Alex Collins deal? Damian and Judy for sure.
Yeah, there's not really too much of a question there.
Chase Brown, pick up Cowboys over Rams this week. Yes. I would.
Yeah. I would too.
Gee, what's up, Catch fam? After my Gronk, Terry, and Edmonds for Adams trade, here's my starting lineup: Rodgers, Eckler, Jones, Swift, Goodert, Adams, and Keenan. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. There's no weaknesses all the way down the board on that roster.
Steven, do we want to go ahead and pop off Madden for the night?
Let's get down to the bottom of the chat, and then I think we roll it.
Okay. V, what's going on, man?
Greetings. I love that. I love getting an email that says greetings. That is just a little segue right there.
Christian, I need to drop 2. Okay.
Let's see here.
Christian, send us your entire roster. We'll get back to you. I just want to, it kind of depends on the rest of your roster. So send us your roster.
I will say Sutton or T. Higgins. I mean, yeah.
That's probably where I'm leaning, but I'd like to see the whole roster as well. John, do you think I can still make playoffs at 2 and 6? My lineup: Dak, Adams, Moore, CD, Pittman, Jones, Mixon, Mark Andrews. How are you 2 and 6?
Yeah, seriously, man.
Yes,
who are you playing with?
It depends. There's a lot of things that have to happen, but yes, do not give up at this point in the season, even if you guys are struggling, man. There's always a way, technically speaking, right? Teams can lose out, you can win out. Enough things can happen, right? It's just like the real playoffs, right?
To some
degree.
Well, 4 to 6 teams, depending on your league, make the playoffs as well, right? And I will say this, like we have had seasons in the past where teams have lost 7 games and still made the playoffs, right? Just depending on how competitive it is. So, dude, just go full out, man. Full out, no handcuffs. Go crazy with it.
Your team's good enough to get you there, yes.
Yeah.
V, I just heard that Jeff Wilson Jr. will return to practice this week. Is he going to replace Eli, you think? Also, my only RB is Pirine, Gainwell, and Pollard. What do you think I should do? Number 10 waiver.
Running back.
I think that Mitchell's I'm very hesitant to say this every single week, but I think that Mitchell's the guy.
Yeah, I did too.
If Wilson comes back, he might steal some goal line work, but I think that Mitchell's the guy, man. And I never thought I'd say that this season. You guys know how much I've hated this backfield.
I hate you, man. I hate him. I do too. But if anything, also, I think Wilson maybe takes away from some of the other backup work, right? Sermon's just going to be basically their mascot. Like at this point, like he's not anything anymore. That was a terrible draft pick. I mean, what they traded to get him. Wow. But yeah, I would also use that 10th waiver for a running back if you can.
Yes. And you might be able to drop Gainwell as well.
Mm-hmm.
Pirine, maybe as well. But if you're
borderline
hurting,
droppable, yeah.
if you're hurting that bad, then maybe hold on to him. Well, boy, trade. I'm so glad I traded for Michael Pittman, but I had to trade Michael Carter for him. Yeah,
I like Pittman a lot, man. Rest of the season.
You lose some value, you gain some value, though. LeBron's brain, all caps. I start Rams D this week, right? And then sorry, caps.
You don't need to. You don't need to apologize for caps there when talking about that Rams defense, baby. I think you can plug and play in.
Yeah, I agree. Nick, 10-team full PPR. Should I trade Khalil Herbert, Justin Jefferson for Adam Thielen and Damian Harris? Herbert, Jefferson, you're receiving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you should do that trade as long as you're receiving Thielen and Harris. Yes, absolutely. Hayden just got offered in a 2QB full PPR league, Herbert and Goodert for Kelsey and Taysom Hill. Should I accept or try and ask for more?
Oh. Taysom Hill, we've seen how good he is in the past.
Who's your other quarterback is what I would ask. Because if you're confident in your other quarterback, then I definitely consider this. Let's see here. Chase Brown, I have waivers. Just wait. I ain't starting David Johnson. There
you go. Good. I know you, Chase. You ain't gonna do that.
Evan, Mike Williams, and Knox for Kelsey. I feel like we got to that one already. And I would say, yes, you can definitely consider that.
If you're getting Kelsey.
Yeah, exactly. Wild Boy Trey, is Cedric Wilson a good pickup at receiver? I'm getting frustrated with Tony. You guys have heard me talk about Ced Wilson sprinkled throughout the season. And I do like him, but at the same time, I like him a lot more in like 14-man plus leagues. I just, there's a little bit of boomer bust written on Cedric Wilson. I mean, at this point, and here's the thing, right? With Gallup coming back, it's going to hurt some of those big games as well. It was really nice to see him play. I mean, basically his best performance of the season with Cooper Rush at quarterback, right? It depends on how big your league is, okay? Depends on how big your league is because like Steven talked about a little bit earlier, Dalton Schultz involved, Blake Jarwin involved, these running backs involved, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. I like what you're looking at there, and I think Tony is a very frustrating receiver to own right now.
He's so good, man. He is so good.
When healthy,
that guy is nuts in terms of talent. Yeah.
Spencer says, Steven, look at sleeper.
Yeah, just real quick, wanted to bring this up just in terms of the trade offer to break it down, but DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, James Robinson for Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Harris. I have Allen, Evans, Harris. Can't take that deal. But I will say this, just in terms of looking at these guys, I think Moore is going to go up when Christian McCaffrey comes back. As, you know, maybe contradicting as that sounds because you think less target volume, but Sam Darnold's value goes through the roof when Christian McCaffrey's there, and I think that benefits more. Jacoby Myers being part of this improved Patriots offense, which now seems to be letting Mac Jones just kind of sling it out more. I do like him on a weekly basis, and man, if Robinson can stay healthy, he's still a top 10 back. And then in terms of Allen and Evans, I mean, you know how consistent those guys are. They're total badasses. And Damon Harris, man, he looks like he is the guy for this Patriots offense.
Yes.
We were high on him in the preseason and a little banged up. There's little question marks. He was fumbling, but it looks like he is truly the guy now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I lost my spot. Simon for president. Hey, guys, Hopkins and Lockett are available to pick up on my waivers. Who would you grab for the rest of the season? Ooh, I think I want to say Hopkins here.
100% Ron Hopkins.
Yeah. I'd lean Hopkins, but both are worth picking up if they're available for sure. Chase Brown, thoughts on Judy against Cowboys? Might be forced to start him since I'm without really an AB. Have Judy and Cooper as my only wide receivers along with Shepard. I think you can start Judy this week, but Steven alluded to this earlier. It's a much tougher matchup. But if I had to pick one Broncos receiver to start this week, it'd probably be Judy. Yeah. Or Tim Patrick taking you're hoping he gets a touchdown grab. Right? You're praying he gets touchdown grab because he's done a lot better in the red zone when Judy and Sutton are healthy, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the guy who gets open in the red zone because Judy and Sutton are taking the pressure, right?
That's scary.
But it's scary. Yeah.
Because if he doesn't score a touchdown, man, he's gonna have like maybe 4 points. That's a little terrifying.
I will let you guys know how that works out because I had to do it this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I heard you talking about Patrick earlier, so I knew you had him on your squad.
Yeah, C-Dog just got out of work. Thanks for the trade advice. There you go, my guy. Of course. Jalen Chase, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. Thanks for coming out. I traded Montgomery and Hawkinson for CD, McKissick, and Higbee. did it because I think Fields will make Montgomery's value go down, and Detroit is just awful. As long as the rest of your running backs look fine, and I mean, I don't. Higbee's been fine on the season. He hasn't been good, and he hasn't been bad. He's just been fine. Okay, I think Hawkinson was offering a little bit more upside. If you want to get away from Montgomery, right, if you're worried about the offense, I can understand that, right? And obviously that backfield is going to be crowded as well. The main thing out of this trade is he got CeeDee Lamb, so I think that's fine.
And McKissick.
Sure, why not?
McKissick's a stud, dude.
Gibson could break his arm tomorrow and his 7 shins, but who knows? So yeah, McKissick's been fine too. It's a good point.
Hey, John, did we get to Ron the Goat's comment, by the way? Maybe I just was tuned out.
About,
are we holding on to Sutton still?
Yeah, I got confused with, I saw Judy twice and we talked about Judy. Then I kept going.
Hot commodity.
Yeah. Are we holding on to Cortland Sutton still? I have Judy and Tony on bench, but I need to drop one. Yes, I think we're holding on to both Judy and Sutton right now. They're good enough. Yeah. I think, is it crazy? I don't think it's crazy to say move on from Tony if you have to. Too inconsistent.
Banged up going into the week before his bye week. I could see the owner of anybody that does pick him up on waivers being disappointed in dropping him after the bye week. And he might just be right there again.
Exactly. Yeah. V, this may have been answered earlier, but I have waiver number 10, AP or Jordan Howard. I think due to volume alone, it's AP. Yeah, it is. Because Howard's still going to be in weeks where Scott gets more work, Gainwell gets involved, and then he's going to have weeks where he's just fine. But we also need to, while I think the Eagles running backs are good pickups on the week, we need to keep in mind, right? Okay. The Detroit Lions are one of the worst teams in the entire National Football League against opposing running backs. And that's a big reason why these guys had such big days. So, Juke just got offered Lockett, Gallup, and Davis for Saquon. I have DK Pittman, Devonte Parker, and Bateman. Any thoughts? I think yes. Lockett, Gallup, Davis. So the interesting thing here is I'd like to see what other running backs you have on your squad, Juke, because
you have some good receivers.
Your receivers are already pretty good. I don't know how much Lockett and Gallup are going to bring to the table for you. And Davis is a fine addition in terms of depth, but is it worth it, right? Down the stretch, what's more worth it? Having a healthy Saquon Barkley or a couple extra receivers and then a Mike Davis?
You got to sift through those 3-for-1 deals sometimes, because sometimes people try to trick you with the numbers for the actual value of those guys, right?
Sure.
I do that to people all the time.
There you go. C-Dog, also, any update on Kyler? If he doesn't play, do I go Wentz, Tua, or Cousins this week?
Tua's got a tasty matchup this week, man.
It's another Tua time.
Yeah.
Tua's shown that we can stream him against bad defenses.
Oh my gosh.
If he plays like a mediocre defense or a good defense, we're not playing him. But if it's a bad defense, we're going Tua time all day. As far as updates on Kyler, I haven't seen anything. It's going to be pretty day to day. Ronald, I made the playoffs at 6-7 last year and came in second. There you go. K9, who do you think is better, Mike Evans or Mike Williams?
Mike Evans.
But to say, in general, probably Mike Evans. And probably on the season, I think I'd rather have Evans as well. Jude, New Orleans or Miami's defense this week? That's a good question. I would lean New Orleans here. I mean, they're one of the best defenses in fantasy football right now.
New Orleans,
yeah.
New Orleans. I mean, even against the Rams, due to catch-up time, obviously, but Houston only gave 7 points to the Rams. Miami's defense, outside of that division matchup where these teams know each other, Tua was finally healthy. It wasn't like that week 2 game where they got absolutely blown out. I just think that that had a lot to do with it in terms of why they didn't play god awful against the Bills. But man, New Orleans going up against Matt Ryan with a banged up opposite throwing a hand and Ridley being out. Yeah, man, I like that matchup a lot, man. Just imagine if they put Marshawn Lattimore on Kyle Pitts or on a guy like Russell Gage. I mean, it's a nightmare situation for the Falcons, unfortunately.
Duke, I did lose Henry and only have Javonte Williams and Michael Carter right now. Then I don't think you can give up Saquon. Yeah. Just making sure I got that I didn't get any names fixed up. But yeah, then I don't think you can give up Saquon. Aiden, I sent you a trade, Steven. Turkey Patty, fantastic name. Love that name, Turkey Patty. Thanks for coming out tonight. Welcome to the catch. Lamar Jackson, Amari Cooper for Tyreek Hill and Daniel Jones. I have Cooper Kupp as my wide receiver 1 and Tannehill in my bench. So let's see here. Which side of that are you on? Just let us know which side you're on there. Let's hear. Emily, Godwin is on bye. Need a receiver this week. Devonte Parker or Rashad. Bateman. I'm leaning Parker just because he's got a better matchup. And I do think that Sammy Watkins coming back could eat into Bateman's touches a little bit, but I think if you end up with Bateman, that's a fine PPR play. But I think that on the week, Parker's a better play. Chase Brown. What do I do with both CEH and Darrell Williams? CEH is expected back this week. I think you hold on to both for now and just watch what plays out, because I think that Williams could still see a lot of involvement. Chase Brown, don't want to hold on to both. It's a tough call. I mean, like, your guess is as good as mine here, my guy. I mean, I want it to be CEH, but I think that Williams might see some continued involvement, especially because the Chiefs need to utilize all the pieces that they have, you know? Also, flex Parker or Judy. I'm assuming Parker. I'd lean Parker this week because, I mean, I don't hate Judy this week, but it's a tougher matchup.
I like Parker.
C-Dog, if you remember my trade from earlier, I was offered Gaskin for Moss for Hunt. So Gaskin and Moss for Hunt. Should I do that one or the one from earlier?
I mean, honestly, if you can still get Gaskin and Moss for Hunt, I think it kind of would depend on where you're at in your season, on your record, right? Because if you need to win now, I'd rather have two guys that could potentially be started this week, right? With Gaskin at Houston, Moss at Jacksonville. And you know, those are two starters rest of the season, despite the fact that Gaskin's kind of gross. But if you're already winning a ton, Hunt in the back few games of the season, definitely attractive.
Yeah. Turkey Patty says he's on the Lamar Jackson side of things. So Lamar and Amari Cooper for Hill and Jones. I think as good as Tyreek Hill is, right, and the ceiling that he offers you, I think you lean Lamar Jackson and Amari Cooper here. I just think that the quarterback ceiling that you're going to get from Lamar is going to be far higher on the season than it is with Tannehill or Jones. So I'd stick with Jones, or excuse me, with Lamar Jackson and Amari Cooper. But if you really want to take the swing the rest of the season, I mean, don't get me wrong, when Lamar's floor is pretty low. So if you're really looking to upgrade at receiver, and I mean, I do like Amari Cooper, but Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill, man. You can take that trade, but you're not going to get a higher ceiling on the season at the quarterback position from Daniel Jones or Tannehill. And you'll probably get the same exact floor, right? But the ceiling is almost like a 15-point difference. But thanks for the question, Turkey Patty. Let us know if you got any others on the night, my guy.
Love that name.
I could eat a turkey patty right now. All right, let's see here. Juke, I would get Saquon. Oh, okay. We had this backwards. I would trade a hurt Corey Davis Lockett, which I don't need you to having DK and Gallup. Yes. We got this backwards. Do the trade. Yes, I love the trade. I love it in your favor. Didn't like it against you. Love it in your favor. Yes. Do the trade. Juke. Ron the Goat. I'm 3-5 at this point. I have Cousins, RBs, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Clyde Edwards, Hunt, and Carter. Wide receivers, AJ Brown, Deontay McLaurin, Sutton, Beasley, and Judy, Titans, Kelsey, and Gronk. How am I looking rest of the season? Sorry for the long question. No worries. I am relatively surprised that you're struggling in the season. Maybe I could see some of this affecting the beginning of the season, but yes, you have a solid team moving forward, man.
You have like two of the top players that I would want if I could do a redraft today in JT and Dalvin Cook.
And when Hunt's healthy, man, I mean, and then you got Carter, AJ Brown, and Deontay, Kelsey,
and Terry Scary.
Well, he's not looking so scary these days.
He's looking scared of his mirror, man. He can't even think himself anymore.
Yeah. Christian, drop two from these: Chase Claypool, Sutton. Lost my spot. Higgins, Gibson, Gronk, because I have Kyle Pitts on my bench. Ooh. I think you take. Oh gosh,
Wow.
that's very tough. That's a great question.
Oh, wow, that is tough. I
I
don't want to drop Gronk. I feel like that's what you want me to say.
I don't want to drop Gronk either, man.
Yeah.
He's not even one. I'm looking at the receivers. It's two of those receivers for me
I want to say
because there's
Higgins.
far less depth at running back and tight end.
Dude, Claypool suck this year. Like,
He's
on
been
the season,
disappointing.
very disappointing in my opinion.
I think you drop. Are you saying Higgins or Sutton here?
I'm
I mean,
saying both. You could drop both, and it dropped
you
two.
can drop any two of those receivers, Christian, and you keep Gibson and Gronk. I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
C-Dog, I'm leaning towards the trade for Miller and keeping Hunt for his return. I think I agree with that, Christian.
Yeah, he's 5-3.
Adam, should I trade T. Higgins for Eli Mitchell? I'm balanced in running back and receiver. So yes.
100%.
Yeah, especially if you're balanced. Yes. Let's see. Steven, do you want me to set up the Xbox?
Yeah, I got to. I had to put mine on too, real quick, so I'm gonna have to pause.
Okay, I'll keep going here, and then we're gonna keep doing fantasy Q&A, guys. We're just gonna get a game of Madden going as well while we do so. All right, let's see here. Yes, Juki. Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm excited for you to do that trade, my guy. Caleb, grade my team in 12-team PPR. Kyler Cook, Najee Harris, Diggs, AJ Brown, Kyle Pitts, and Keenan Allen. I mean, solid A, Caleb. I would be interested to see your bench, but outside of it, I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say about that team. Maybe a little bit of concern around our guy Kyler Murray for now, but no, that's a solid A, I would say. Love the combo, man, of Cook and Najee Harris, and I love the combo of Diggs and AJ Brown. Then I love Kyle Pitts and I love Keenan Allen. So I got nothing bad to say about that team, man. Juke, I would get Saquon. I would trade a hurt. Oh, I'm sorry, I already read that. Yes, I'm very excited for that trade for you, Juke. Matt, Taysom Hill or Tannehill moving forward? Tannehill better off without Henry for fantasy. You could argue either way, man. I still want to see how things play out for the New Orleans Saints. It's a great matchup this week, man, but I just to some degree want to see how things play out, right? This is tough. We know how good Taysom Hill can be within this offense, but at the same time, man, and then you can argue, right, that Henry being gone hurts Tannehill, right? You could argue at least, but it's tough. I could go back and forth on that one, man. Think I would say the more consistent play would probably be Taysom Hill, but you could certainly argue for, or excuse me, the more consistent play would be Tannehill. You could certainly argue for Taysom Hill, though. Let's see here. Caleb Young, are there any moves I should make? I'd be interested to see who's on your bench, Caleb. Let me know, man. Ron the Goat hopefully looks scarier after bye. Yeah, no kidding. Matt, also, should I stack Parker or Gallup? I want to drop Gainwell or even Sterling Shepard. I would drop Gainwell and pick up Parker and then put in your waiver dropping for Gallup, but I would hold on to Sterling Shepard. Juke, sorry for the double post. You skipped it at first. So I didn't know if you saw it. My bad. Thank you, John and Steven. You all the goats. No worries, bro. No worries at all, man. If you ever are unsure that your question that got answered, it's not a big problem at all. Matt, I'm sorry. We already read that one. C-Dog, Colts, Saints, or Dolphins defense? I'm leaning Saints there. Steven's a defensive master.
Yeah, I want to go with the Saints here too. And I go back and forth on this. I think the Colts are a great play this week as well. It's tough, right? Is Mike White the guy that we saw against the Bengals? I don't know. It really goes back and forth. I think that defense with the New Orleans Saints is just elite, man. And the Colts back end has gotten ripped apart over these past few weeks due to injuries. So I would probably go Saints and Colts at a very close tie, and then Dolphins at the bottom.
I agree.
It could really go either way, though, with that Saints-Colts matchup.
Let's see here. I'm inviting you to Madden, by the way, Steven.
Oh, you are. It always takes like 3 attempts. A little side note, guys. So went to my fridge, had to get a little bite of guacamole and chips to pregame my Taco Bell as I saw an advertisement for it. Haven't gotten your invite yet, by the way, John. And there is 2-week-old sour cream that has been stinking up my fridge. And you know how I feel about sour cream, man. I am like heated right now. My nostrils are burning.
Always a lovely time here at the Catch. So make sure you guys smash that like button, and make sure if you're new here, you've hit that sub button down below as well. And speaking of sour sour cream or guacamole, let us know what you guys had for dinner, guys. We even put in the ticker tonight. Let us know. Stolen Fraud. Should I trade DJ Moore and Javonte Williams for Nick Chubb? Stolen Fraud, let us know. Let us know your whole roster. We'll get back, because this is a trade to consider, but also a trade to not consider at the same time. Let us know your whole roster. It's a great question, though.
I think Nick Chubb's a great buy low opportunity right now.
Yeah. C-Dog, Mike can drop 600 yards. He is the best quarterback ever. Yeah. Chase Brown, Judy or Beasley this week?
Tough one, right? Because of that matchup. We saw Sanders skunk a lot of people, right? He was a must-start candidate. And yeah, skunked it, brother. That's just what happens, man. And maybe that's a scary thing. Yeah, maybe that's a scary thing going up against Jacksonville, another crappy team, easy matchup.
Yeah.
Not one of the higher over-unders on the week this week. It's like mid-40s. I think they're predicting that this is going to be kind of a shutdown of the Jacksonville offense, which I don't argue with, especially if Robinson's banged up. This could be pretty ugly. I would actually lean away from Beasley just for that.
Let's see here. Should we start this game?
Yeah, start it up.
It's on my screen that you're in it.
I can't see it on the stream.
Oh, okay. Yes. I have to press like 3 buttons. I'm sorry, guys.
I do see a comment from Juke real quick that I need to bring up right now. Juke says Steven's feeling for sour cream is about like his feelings for OBJ. I just need to talk about, that's another thing that happened on the news today. Did you see him throwing shade at Baker Mayfield? He was like, gave like check marks about something where somebody had commented, or there was a post that said Baker Mayfield not throwing his way because he doesn't want to see him shine and wants to like hate on him. It's one of the 2 options. And OBJ commented back and like put 3 check marks on it. Like, what the hell is his deal, dude? In my opinion, like I can't stand him, dude. I can't stand OBJ.
I didn't see that. I thought you were going to bring up LeBron James there.
Well, he's homies with LeBron. Obviously, he's lobbying LeBron to say that. But my question is like Jarvis Landry, teammate who's been a loved player for this Cleveland Browns organization. Come on, man! Like, tell your boy like to chill out a little bit. Like,
so basically, what I'm gathering here is, OBJ is getting traded to the Lakers, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't get traded before deadline is my biggest takeaway from this, right? How didn't he get moved?
Would you want to trade for him?
I think, I mean, I wouldn't, right? But I'm just surprised the Browns aren't just trying to get rid of him at this point. And I think there's somebody out there that wants him, right?
Sure. Let's see here. All right, are we starting this game?
Yeah.
I know you're pressed on.
That's a great one.
Oh, wow, that's a great one. Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Man, we have gotten a lot of big matchups, you know?
Yeah.
We had so many games where they're not good. Teams. Okay. Caleb, I see your bench there, man. I don't think you need to make any moves, except maybe you can move on from Tony with how good the rest of your team looks. Let's see here. C-Dog, you're all on PlayStation. We're on Xbox. C-Dog, also with work, I had a whole Hershey Kiss for dinner. Hey, listen, C-Dog. If you're going to eat one, item of food when you're quick on dinner, let it be a Hershey Kiss.
Little Hershey Kiss.
We already got that one. Chase Brown, last time I started Beasley after a good week, he sucked. Yes, he likes to do that. Juke, I had homemade chicken pot pie for dinner. Dude, that sounds phenomenal. I would eat some chicken pot pie right now, hands down. Stolen Franz, should I trade DJ Moore and Javonte Williams for Chubb? Okay. Running backs are Eckler, Carter, Williams, Sanders, Carson. You got Hill, Allen, Moore, Sutton, Tony, and Kelsey. All right, so we're losing DJ Moore, but we've got Hill, Allen, Sutton, Tony. We're losing Javonte Williams, but we've got Eckler, Carter, William. Oh, you'd be losing Williams. And you got Carson, because I'm not really including Sanders in that mix. But you gain Nick Chubb. And you got Kelsey. So I think you definitely can consider this. What do you think?
Okay. Look, yeah. All right. So this is what I'm envisioning, right? If you're a team that's going to be in the playoff hunt, you can potentially go into a matchup with Nick Chubb, Eckler, and a starting Carter right there. I mean, that is so nice, dude. And then you got a receiver. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Kelsey, obviously. But the one thing about this deal that I like so much is the fact that you can get Nick Chubb and you can sit there and say, all right, I get it. My receiver position is definitely thin, right? Because you're losing a ton of value there just in terms of like your receiving core doesn't have a ton of depth. But I think you can stream to get a wide receiver 2 on a weekly basis if you need to, because I like that pairing of Nick Chubb and Austin Eckler and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. That's scary, man. That's scary.
I like it too. Yeah, I like it too. Face tinfoil just traded Deontay and Gaskin for James Robinson. Thoughts? I think that's fine as long as the rest of your receivers overall are. Oh, wow. Was that user?
No.
Okay, that was baloney then. I think that's fine as long as you have good receiver depth outside of Deontay Johnson. I think it's an upgrade from Gaskin for sure. I mean, even an injured James Robinson, I would consider an upgrade. So
what do you envision this James Robinson thing really turning into?
Right now it's just day to day, which is good news. So I think it's going to be fine. But I could also see Urban Meyer being like, "All right, guys, he's hurt. Let's get Carlos Hyde out there, guys."
Yeah.
So I could see it going either way. Matt, would you guys trade pick up AP, or McNichols? I think I'm leaning AP first, but I'm not going to be surprised if McNichols gets a lot of good work as well. It's going. I mean, it's hard to say, right? But
So I think John, that it would depend on league format, because this is standard. It's a for sure AP move. If this is PPR or half PPR, especially if it's PPR, this is a McNichols play. But in a half PPR, I would almost lean McNichols right now, just because of the chemistry with this offense. And I think if like we've been saying, they do convert into a more pass aggressive team due to just the total change of dynamics of his offense, McNichols is going to be used and maybe seen as if not the number 2, the number 3 option behind AJ Brown and potentially Julio Jones if he can get healthy.
That's true. I mean, I like McNichols in full PPR for sure. Yes, but I like AP. I think McNichols could end up getting more work immediately, right? Yeah. Because AP has to get adjusted to the offense, right? So I like both of these guys. I think that they're going to have fine value on the season. But wow, oh gosh. Wow. I think it depends on scoring format as well. All right. Turkey Patty, I have Eckler and Emmanuel Sanders. Should I trade them for Mike Williams and Ezekiel Elliott? I'd say no. I think Eckler offers slightly more upside than Ezekiel Elliott, and I think Sanders and Williams are very, very similar at this point in the season. So I'd say no personally. I'd say no.
Yeah.
Dude, Aaron Donald needs to step it up, bro.
Did you? What?
Chase Brown, start McNichols over either Moss or Damon Harris this week. I wouldn't. Is that crazy? I'd like to see how this works out first, because I think
no. You're not crazy, man. And those matchups are nice.
Yeah, I think that Moss is going to be fine. And Harris has been really good on the season, guys. So I think I'm fine with him as well. Oh,
Nice sack. Nice sack.
Richard Glass, Journal So's for dinner, dude. That
Oh
sounds
my
so
gosh,
good.
that sounds so good right now. Love
Dude,
that, man.
4th and 47. Wow.
So you get some fries with that? Or not fries, chicken fried rice.
Okay, wow. Simon for president. I'm in California about to make my dinner brown rice and canned salmon salad. Trying to eat healthy to drop the 30 pandemic pounds I gained. That sounds quite good, man. Matt had chicken Caesar salad. That sounds good too, bro. I saw Richard say, no, I did not get fries at that. LOL. Is there any chance Henry returns for fantasy playoffs? Technically speaking, no, says Steven. I thought technically.
Well, do you really think that they would bring him back?
No, it's like, why not just let him rest the season? What just happened in this game? Get off me, bro. Was that a 100-yard touchdown?
99, baby.
Did everyone see that? That was on live stream, right? Or live stream. What were you doing right there, bro?
I just did all outlets. You know how it is.
Ronald says Sea-Dog around a 5% chance he is back for the start, maybe 10 for the Bull, but you would not be able to trust him right away, essentially, since there is no chance. Yeah. Good analysis as well. Suck it, bro. Gosh. I knew as soon as I threw that, though. I just didn't want you to get the sack. Like, I didn't want you to. Let's see here. I mean, I have stolen fawn. I mean, I have Keenan Allen as a wide receiver too. He should be good enough most weeks, I'd think. Yeah. I like the move, man. I do.
Yeah.
You end up with Chubb. You could really break off. You got Eckler, Carter, and Chubb, right? Then you got Hill and Allen. Then you got
that's so
LC.
solid, man.
I think you make the move, man, for sure.
The trade-off for someone it just came out. I forget who it was. I apologize there, but had said that they just made another trade for me. It was Javonte Williams and I'm forgetting the other part of this deal, so that's kind of important. But a lot of trade interest in Keenan Allen, right? I think we're all seeing that Keenan Allen is starting to get better, starting to come in a stride, and that's coinciding with Mike Williams falling off a bit. So Keenan Allen's a hot target right now.
Jeff, C-Cup fantasy prediction. Is that just on the week? If it's just on the week, then another fantastic outing for Cooper Kupp.
The guy's gonna be like the best receiver in all of football after
it's on the season. Then it's the same difference. Another continuous dominant season, right? So yeah.
I mean, it kind of like he's kind of becoming like, there was maybe the question of like, oh, they're going up against Houston. Maybe they'll run the ball more. That didn't even happen, right? They still ran it a lot, but Kupp still came out and balled out like crazy. I mean, he's kind of matchup proof. He's just getting so many targets and he's doing so much with it.
Yeah. Chase Brown, Harris gets Panthers, though. That's true. It is a bad matchup. I mean, the volume's been there for Harris, and I think even though it's a bad matchup, he could definitely still has a good shot to find the end zone as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I eat steamed over fried rice, says Richard.
Interesting. Glass. It is very tasty.
Because he's a classy man.
Because he's classy.
Yes, he's a classy man, and we are not classy man. So I respect that, Richard. I respect it. C-Dog, if you're battling for playoff spot, I can see him returning. Yeah.
There's an outside shot. And right, if they do start losing some games, the Colts probably are going to have a chance to bounce back in it. And we could see them needing a guy like Henry at the very end of that season. But I don't know, man. I mean, Henry not only is very important for their playoff push, but he is also important for their long-term value as well. I just don't know if they would risk bringing him back too early.
Tyreek Hill or Darrell Henderson in the trade, says Jason Kenobi. Jason, what's up, man?
Kenobi.
Kenobi's in the house, bro.
I like Hill here.
Yeah, I think right now you can get Hill at a pretty good price, right? And Henderson's been so consistent. I don't think I think you have to give up a little bit more for him right now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is that crazy to say? As I said that out loud, it sounded a little crazy.
I mean, he is at like probably the most like bottom end value in terms of you can buy him low, as he's probably been the past 3 seasons of his career, just because of how struggling the Chiefs have been. But yeah, I mean, you can get him at a nice price.
So I'm starting Cowboys defense, but also have Judy starting. I think that's fine. Like Judy can have a good game, and the Cowboys defense can still have a good game at the same time, you know? Andrea, all right. Andrea, if we missed one of your questions, please let us know. I apologize if we did here. Let's see here. Here's a complete pass to Higbee. That was like a glitch.
Higbee's dominating for you.
Chase Brown, I feel like I can't do that. I can roll with Rams over Cowboys this week or Beasley over Judy. Those are my options. I feel like you can do Judy and the Cowboys defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, both can have a good game. You just absolutely destroyed
That looked like Bosley being thrown into the sidelines, man.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Chris Boswell got absolutely.
Yeah, Chris Boswell got destroyed, dude.
Worst coaching call we've seen all year.
That almost lost them the game. That was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, that was scary. Jason, how the F does one guy have Kelsey and Eckler? KB, are you worried about Kamara? Not at all. Not at all.
I think Kamara might be best back for a while, man. He's got that opportunity, right? And also, while we're talking about Kamara, I heard a little something about Phillip Rivers for the Saints.
What?
I'm not even kidding about that.
Bro, are you kidding me?
I heard that Phillip Rivers would come back out of retirement to play for the New Orleans Saints.
I'm talking about Madden right now, but
I know
that's
we're
crazy
talking about
also.
that.
Both things are crazy. Yeah.
I will say this, right? While I think that the Saints are better off to just keep Taysom Hill and whatever they've got there, and they can still muster up a good team. If Phillip Rivers does come back, the one thing about Rivers that he's always done is pass it a ton to the running back. So Kamara would his value would even get even higher. So that's the one thing.
Do you really think that he's going to come back?
I don't know, man. Maybe. You never know.
Dude, what is this game of Madden right now? Stolen Fawn, thanks for the trade advice. Absolutely, man. That's what we're here for. Let us know if you got any other questions on the night. I appreciate you coming out, man. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure if you guys are new here that you hit that sub button down below. Become part of the catch fam. Good catch, Steven. I threw it to you that time. Simon for president. Lost Henry trying to pick up a replacement for most likely rest of season. Who do you guys think I should waiver our first prior? Wow. Your first waiver for. Let's just McNichols, AP, Carter. I'd go Carter. He's obviously the lead back there. I mean, I'd go Carter, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, you gonna kick a field goal, Steven?
No way, dude.
Ronald, does not matter at all. I mean, not at all that you have JJ and are playing Dallas. Yeah. First name, last name. Who should I be able to get for Kyle Pitts in a trade? Maybe a wide receiver suggestions and who I trade for. So you're looking to trade just Kyle Pitts alone? I do think you can get pretty good trade value out of Kyle Pitts, but you're going to have to probably look for a team that needs a tight end, right? Maybe it's a team that's struggling at the tight end position. So
I genuinely think he might finish as a top 3 tight end this year.
Yeah. And I mean, you could also look for a team that's just playing really well overall.
Wow, that was almost the greatest kick in our matchup history right there. That was a 63-yarder.
How many turnovers?
The big boy.
How many turnovers did we just have, man?
Quite a bit.
Simon for president. I'm Ingram now, but thinking of dropping for the running backs I mentioned. Yeah, and I think bad kick. I think the thing with Ingram is he's going to be touchdown dependent, right?
Yeah.
Like if he can find the end zone, he's going to have a really nice stat line. Right, but if he doesn't, then you're going to be very disappointed that you started him. So I think that's fine.
There were trade rumors that he was going to go to Green Bay.
C-Dog, also, I'm never a person to hope for injuries, but with Madison sitting on my bench, an injury to a player wouldn't be such a bad thing. Hey, it wouldn't be a bad thing. You're not hoping for the injury. I've been saying the
same thing all year.
Just saying it wouldn't be a bad thing, So that's fine. Oh, come on. Let's see here. Jeff, would you start George Kittle this week as he is predicted to play against the Cardinals?
Tough
If you don't
matchup.
have any better options, then I consider it. But yes, Steven is correct. The Cardinals are one of the best teams in the league against opposing tight ends. They just destroyed Robert Tonyan's season.
Yeah.
So you might want to hold off on this one. But then again, he's George Kittle. He's offering a crazy high ceiling on a consistent basis. So it's hard to say at the same time. Dude, Aaron Donald is so good in this game.
Yeah, he is. He's been blowing up my O-line every play.
Jason Henderson or Saquon rest of season. Ooh, that's tough.
Henderson.
Yeah, right? Just due to the health, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. First name, last name. Anyone who I should be able to trade Kyle Pitts for in a trade, maybe a wide receiver suggestion. Okay. Who do you think, Steven, in terms of wide receivers that he can realistically get? It kind of depends on the teams that you're going to target, right? Like you theoretically could get a number one receiver for Kyle Pitts, but at the same time, it just depends on how good of a position is that team in, right? Maybe a team at the top would be like, okay, I can consider this, right? Maybe they have 4 or 5 receivers. They've got a good receiver that they're not starting on a weekly basis. Maybe they've gotten through with a guy like Tyler Higbee all season long. So it depends on the teams in your league, but I would think you should be able to get a pretty good player. It just kind of it depends on the circumstances a little bit. So let us know who's out there that you think you can target, and maybe we can help you make a better evaluation, because theoretically you could get a really good receiver, but it just kind of depends on the specific teams out there. Litsky, what's good? John and Steven, what's up, man? Currently suffering from Henry and Ridley. Yeah, it's a tough combo, man.
Yeah.
It's a very tough combo.
Been a tough year.
It has been.
Yeah, it's been really depressing.
Let's see here. Oh, Andrew, watching Madden with your guys. Oh, nice. I'm glad that you are enjoying that, especially with how bad Steven is.
Oh, my gosh, man. Higbee's killing it right now.
Yeah. Jeff, would you start Emmanuel Sanders this week after a donut performance against Miami? Yes, I still wouldn't lose faith in Emmanuel Sanders. I think he'll be fine.
Matchup.
I think he'll be fine. Chase Brown, what do I do with Khalil Herbert? This is a fantastic question. And I don't quite know as a Khalil Herbert owner. I mean, obviously, when Montgomery comes back, we still give it a week just to see what happens, right? I don't know what to do with Herbert, quite frankly. I don't need him this week, and next week he has bye worth dropping. If you don't need him, then yes. Oh gosh, that's a pick. Oh no, it's not. Okay, it's a touchdown. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you don't need him this week, then yeah, that's fine to do. Yeah. Here, I'll give you another 2 points, Steven, since you haven't scored on me tonight. D-Dog, since I'm trading Waller, should I stick with Seals Jones after this buy or explore the waivers? I would recommend exploring the waivers just to see what's out there. There you go. Another 2 points, Steven.
Oh, why didn't you pitch it?
First name, last name. Should I trade away Kyle Pitts or Darren Waller? I have both. A team that needs a tight end in my league has Debo and Justin Jefferson and Godwin. Yes. Go after one of those receivers, man. Why not? Someone else drafted Pitts and then dropped him after 2 weeks because he had TJ Hawkinson and Hawk was going off. Ooh, I can see that happening early.
That's sad. That's sad.
Hawkinson was going crazy. Pitts was doing nothing. I can see that. Yeah. Unless, yeah, I think you consider trading one of those guys. Why not? Jason, Pitts went in the 6 of my league, so it's not hard to have both. There you go.
Yeah.
Richard Glass, make sure you avoid doing any more Kahoots. Yeah, the Kahoots quizzes, I think it was just the music. I'm going to have to look into this. I mean, I just had to clear it. I had to go through and edit out the certain parts, but I think it was just the music that was playing during when we did the Kahoots quizzes on Saturday night. Yeah, it stinks because you guys had fun doing that. But I guess it was just the music, because I went back and watched. I mean, YouTube told me every single part that had a copyright claim, and yeah, it had to be the music. And it was weird. But yeah, I guess we can't do any more Kahoots quizzes.
Their first copyright issue,
huh? Yeah. But it wasn't like anything that was going to be a strike against the channel. It was just we couldn't be monetized on those videos ever. So I just edited it. All right, YouTube edits it out for you. But
that's good.
Let's see here. Litsky, good thing I'm 6-2 though, so I can at least make some moves for the playoffs. Let's go. Andrea, I have Dallas Goddard or Kittle in PPR. I think this week I'm still going Goddard.
Yeah, Goddard's got a great matchup this week. And I also think, isn't the Chargers, aren't they the worst team against opposing tight ends?
They're one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And also I just, he's been 10 points every week since being the sole guy there. It's a plug-and-play matchup for him as well.
I think Goddard as well there.
I'm debating on starting Goddard over Mark Andrews this week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. How about them Braves? Did the Braves win?
Yeah,
they won the. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah,
Astros are a bunch of cheaters, dude. You're a cheater.
No, I wasn't saying go Astros. I said I don't want the Astros to win.
Oh, Litsky, I should add that I'm 6-2 because of the catch fam. Let's go. Yes, sir, you are.
Let's get it, Litsky.
First name, last name. Waller or Pitts rest of the season. Waller or B without Ruggs because of Pitts without Ridley for some time. I think. Is it crazy? I want to lean Pitts here.
No, I like Pitts rest of the season, man. I think he's almost used as Debo is used, where he's like the wide receiver, running back, tight end. I mean, he's just everything for the squad, right? I think Pitts' value to the offense is so important. And dude, he's like one of the most talented players at the position in all of football as well.
Waller, very disappointing this season, man.
I don't know if I'm like really willing to buy low on him right now because something seems sticky about how bad he's been. Something seems like this is going to be something that's going to maybe drag for a lot longer than we want. He's still going to have this week where he has 15 to 20 catches or something. You're like, oh my gosh, but I just don't know about him returning to that top 3 type of level.
Deshaun Jackson. C-Dog, Titans on waivers are Conklin, Arnold, Freiermuth, Komet, Ingram, and Moe Cox. I'm withering getting them or staying with Seals Jones. I kind of like Freiermuth right now.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I like Freiermuth right now. And then Ingram's playing okay right now as well. So, also out of them, who should I start this week with Jones on a bye? Freiermuth. For sure.
And the one thing wow, that was probably the coolest interception I've ever had in this game. The one thing about Ingram here is, he got the touchdown. But what we're seeing now too is Shepard's down, Tony's down, Galladay's obviously banged up. Man, it's just like, who else are you going to throw the ball to, right? That's one thing in his favor.
Yes, I agree with that statement. As long as those other guys are out, that is. Sorry, guys. Got a little excited there. Jason Kenobi, Waller and Pitts will be close. I expect them to be 2 to 3 rest of the season in some order. Yeah, I could still see Waller coming back from the grave, guys. I can. I don't want us to lose complete faith in him, but he's just been so incredibly disappointing on the season, man.
Yeah.
Here, Steven, let me make sure I go no huddle for you. I don't.
What are you doing, dude?
I don't want to run out the clock for you, man. I mean, that's just not fair. That's not how we do it. Fair. We just throw it to Tyler Higbee every play.
What the heck?
Yeah. The Braves are up 6-0, top of the 5th. Let's go, Braves.
Oh, let's go, Braves.
Let's go. Okay. Summer President, I started Goddard last week since Waller was out week 7 and then bye. I'm thinking of starting Goddard over him, even if Waller plays. Thanks, fam. Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's such a good matchup for Goddard on the week that I think you got to consider it. I don't mind that at all, man. Steven, are you okay? I'm a little concerned about you.
Little upset. Oh, wow. I'm a
little worried about you.
That was a great play, man.
Because you've been calling the right audibles every play, and you didn't that time. C-Dog, I feel like Kyle Rudolph steals so much from Ingram. That's a good point as well. Yeah. I like Freiermuth out of those guys. He's been pretty consistent since Juju's exited the scene. I like Freiermuth.
Love the target share he's getting.
Is he still touchdown dependent? Yes, but all of these tight ends in this kind of range are relatively touchdown dependent. And I think he's probably the best chance to score a touchdown, right? Suck it, Steven. Watch this.
Oh my gosh. I thought you actually would have got that.
Tim, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well tonight. Thanks for coming out. Do I win trade? I traded Mixon and D-Hop for Cook and Higgins. My team is now Kyler, Kamara, Cook, Debo, Lamb, Higbee, and Higgins in my flex. I almost like Mixon and D-Hop more, if I'm being honest. But your team is absolutely loaded either way. So I think you're fine either way.
I love Ronald's comment here. You've pronounced Goddard like 4 different ways so far tonight. Yeah, Goddard is a great player.
He is a player that I really like to switch up his name. If you guys
haven't noticed. It's a fancy name.
Goddard was my favorite way to say it. Wow, I should not have done that onside kick. Oh, we got to serve as a football game. Yes, Ronald, you are correct with that statement, though. Yes. Let's see here. To Richard Glass, I'm trying to trade Jefferson and Connor for Cup. I'm in first. He's in 6 and needs depth. Total win for me if I can pull it off. Standard, unfortunately. Yeah, definitely is still a win, though, without a doubt. I think it's a good trade as well. Oh, come on, man.
You like
come
that?
on. You going to kick an onside kick?
No, I'm not going to do an onside kick.
I mean, I helped you out, man. You were getting sad over there. I was just destroying you. You're getting sad.
Yeah.
Jason says there's no way you get that done. I mean, it's a win for you if you do get it done, for sure. For sure. Ronald Johnner is going to cost me. Is going to cost people fantasy playoff games. Connor, that is. I mean, Johnner kind of makes sense. James Conner, right? It makes sense. Johnner. C-Dog, well, now Kyler has to play, and my team ain't as bad as it seems now that Henry is hurt. Oh, no. Oh, no. This game of Madden. I don't know why I give Steven any leeway, right? I do the onside kick. I try to be nice to my friend, and he intercepts me. Evan Harrison, need a defense filler this week with Bucks on bye. Pittsburgh, New Orleans, Pats, Miami, any others. I would go New Orleans all day, Evan. All day. Yeah, I go New Orleans all day. Would you trade Hill for Henderson and Waddle? It depends on your other receivers, Jason, but I definitely consider it. Yeah. Let me know what other receiver depth you've got going on there, Jason. C-Dog, also, will Hunt get the points he did when he was healthy for returns? I think so. I do. I think they'll bring him back when he's ready, looking at the rest of this running back depth. So, yes, I absolutely think so.
I also think Hunt is so needed with how banged up that receiving core has been, with how weak their passing game has been. Hunt was key for that. He was their true third down back and is so electric coming off on third downs in any sort of passing situation.
Yeah. Let's see here. Turkey Patty, I accepted the trade. Hold on, I'll break it down in just a second, right after I sack Steven. Accepted Lamar and Amari for Hill and Daniel Jones. He should be my new starting quarterback. I have Tannehill in as well. Or should I grab a QB from waivers? Tannehill is in my bench. It depends on what other quarterbacks are out there, but I'd consider Tannehill for now, actually.
Yeah,
I would with Henry down. I consider Tannehill for now, but Danny Dimes is a fine QB2 for sure.
He disappointed me this last week, man.
Dude, that play was baloney.
I will say, man. So in all the mock drafts that we did in our rankings video that we did before the season, we thought that Tannehill was not just going to be a top 12 guy on the season. He was going to be potentially like a top 10 guy. And that's because he really has been so great over the past couple of years in Tennessee, but maybe this is his chance to break into that top 12. I mean, I don't think you would totally disagree with that, would you?
No, not necessarily. I think this is as good of a point in the season as possible.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, man, if you run this clock out, then you're not good at Madden. And no one likes you.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. If that was cheap. That was dirty. Okay, I gave you the onside kick, and that was a dirty way to repeat.
Hey, John, I wasn't going to say anything, but you were using Deshaun Jackson, who is no longer on this Rams team.
That
pass, that first down, was a critical first down in the drive.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to take it there?
I wasn't going to say anything.
It's not like using Deshaun Watson, okay? Okay.
Dude, Deshaun Jackson, the most electric player in all of football.
Jason Kenobi's got Terry, AJ Brown, and Judy. Okay, so now I hate to do this to you, but what's your running back depth, right? Like, how bad do you need a guy like Henderson?
John, you're gonna have to kick a field goal.
Shut up, Steven.
There's no way you're gonna be able to. It's over.
No!
Whoa!
What?
Whoa! John,
Dude, this game is trash. No one even likes this game. I'm never giving you leeway in this game again, man. I hope you know
that was wild.
Oh my gosh, this game doesn't even count. I mean, we're still 3-3. We're 3-3. This game doesn't count. That was just a big load of baloney. I won that game. For some reason, I looked up in my. It's showing on the screen my Apple, showing you guys my music. I don't know how long that was up, but I'm very upset, guys. I'm very upset.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jason
would be too. That's Zeke, Connor, Booker, and Collins. I feel like it's more beneficial to have Hill on your team. Truthfully, I feel like it's more beneficial to have Hill. Where's your headspace at, Jason? Steven, are you hopping off?
Yeah, man.
Food. Steven's eating food. Okay.
I'm pounding this sandwich down.
Need to pick up a receiver. Select one, Parker, Edwards, or Crowder. Crowder's a fine option, but I'm still leaning Devonte Parker here for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely Parker, then Crowder, and then Edwards last. Evan Harrison, do we think Kittle comes back this week? I'm tired of Henry's touchdown dependent. Yes, I do think that Kittle comes back this week, but I think Henry, I know it's frustrating, but I do think that he's fine for the time being as well. C-Dog, never trust Danny Dimes. Who even gave him that nickname? That's a good question. I don't know who gave Danny Dimes that nickname, but they have some explaining to do. Jeff, should I start Kupp and Woods or Kupp and Mike Williams for this week? Oh man, I think it's hard to not start Kupp and Woods. I think that's who I'd go to war with, man.
Yeah.
Litsky, that's a crazy L. Yeah, it was. What's the record now, Steven? Up 4-3. Javion, great vid. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. I'm 8-0 in full PPR. Do I trade away Kamara, Edmonds, and Hopkins for CMC, Mixon, and Higgins? I have no trouble at wide receiver. Wow.
Oh man, you know, at first I was like, no, but now
you get the potential, benefit of CMC down the stretch. He's going to be equivalent, if not better, to Kamara. You replace Edmonds with Mixon. If you have no problems at receiver, then it's not that bad of a trade-off between Hopkins and Higgins. And yeah, you're 8-0, so you definitely can't consider this, Javian.
Yeah,
Turkey Patty, Daniel Jones or Tannehill week 9. New York plays the Raiders and Titans plays the Rams. It's a better matchup for Daniel Jones, but wow.
Really tough.
I think you still lean Tannehill, quite frankly. I think you do. Let me know where your headspace is at, Turkey Patty. Steven, are you okay?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't tell what's up with Steven. Oh, Steven, I had you muted. Are you good?
Yeah, I get it, man. You're muting me because I beat you on live stream. You're depressed. You're sad. It's okay. It's okay. No worries. No worries. But I will say, no, I'm going to cut you off, buddy. I'm going to cut you off because you're a loser at this game. That's what happens. I like Tannehill, right? I think Danny Dimes, he's got the better matchup, but all of his assets, all of his options, all of his weapons are injured. And thought he had a great matchup against Kansas City, too. And didn't even get 20 points.
I just love the fact that I muted you.
Yeah.
That was great. I don't want to talk about Madden. You look scared over there. Are you scared, Stephen?
Oh, no, I'm not scared. I got a belly full of cheese sandwich. That's going to
Cheese
be an
sandwich
addition.
before Taco Bell.
I was just going to say I'm about to have to jump because I'm going to go run over to Taco Bell, get some dinner in me. But it's been a pleasure tonight, John. It's always been a pleasure to beat your butt on live stream.
We'll see tomorrow. I handed you that win. I handed you that win.
Okay.
I could have
And
just
sugar
ran
donuts
the clock out.
Yeah. And sugar donuts are good for your muscles. Okay.
I can say this much, Steven. I am never giving you any leeway ever again in this game. Ever.
John, let me tell you about leeway, all right? Leeway won championships right there. 4-3. 4-3.
Tomorrow we will find out who ties the series. This never-ending series. Steven, if you're signing off, we will see you next time.
Yep.
You'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. actually.
Yep. Yeah, we will. Just want to give a shout out to everyone who watched tonight. Want to give a shout out to everyone who hit that sub button, hit that like button, including our guy Jeff right there. Thank you guys for answering all my questions. I subbed because you guys are awesome and I love what you're doing. Well, we love you hitting that sub button, becoming part of the Catch fam, man. We love hanging out with you guys every single night. So really had a good time tonight, John. Again, had a great time embarrassing you. That's always fun.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll take it. All
right, brother.
What it is.
Love you guys.
Peace out, Steven. Let's see here. I'm going to get to a couple more questions on the night, and then I'll be signing off as well. Jeff, Hunter Henry or Freiermuth or Conklin this week? I want it to be Hunter Henry, but you got to consider Freiermuth as well, right? But I'm still leaning Hunter Henry there. Let's see here. Evan Harrison, Daniel Beckham Jr. C-Dog, do you think I can drop the Viscous Chenault, or will he be a good bench wide receiver? Because I don't really need him. If you don't really need him, you can move on from him. But at the same time, if there's not really any better value out there on the waiver wire, then you probably don't necessarily need to move on from him as well. But if there's better value, like a Devonte Parker, there's like some running backs that you're interested in, then I don't mind that. All right, let's see here. Ryan just traded T. Higgins for Waller. I like that move. I think that's a fine move, especially if you're not hurting at the wide receiver position. I like that move quite a bit, actually. All right, did I finish this challenge? I allowed exactly 20 yards. Can I just restart? Oh, don't allow 20. Oh, this is a tough challenge. Okay. Let's see here. Jeff, thank you guys. Oh, Steven went over that one. Yeah, Jeff, of course. That's what we're here for, my guy. Not a problem at all, man. Wow, this was an awful challenge. Clamped ES, would you trade Cordell Patterson for Montgomery? I think I'd rather have Patterson, but if you're not hurting at running back, you're trying to make a move down the stretch, I think it's fine, but personally, I'd hold on to Patterson over Montgomery with the injury issues. Yeah. Let's see here. C-Dog, most underrated streamers. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, C-Dog. Appreciate that support, man. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and cap off the stream for the night. Tonight was an absolute blast, man. You guys killed it. I feel like that went on for 5 minutes, but that was over 2 hours. You guys were great tonight. Amazing fantasy Q&A. We will be back on tomorrow at 8 p.m. sharp. We will have Steven's must start kickers dropping tonight as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. C-Dog, what's your streaming schedule? Ronald, peace out, my brothers. Peace out, Ronald. Always good to have you here, man. Appreciate you in the chat, Ronald. You've been killing it, man. Great fantasy perspectives from Ronald in the chat, and we appreciate your continued support. C-Dog, so tomorrow will be on at 8 p.m., both Steven and myself. Thursday night will be on around 9:30 for the Thursday Night Football Hangout with Fantasy Q&A. Friday night will probably be on around 9:30, okay? Just general fantasy Q&A. With some Madden. Then Saturday night, we'll hop on between 9:30 and 10. Saturday night hangout, man. We go for quite a bit on Saturday night, so make sure you guys are tuning in for that. And then Sunday, of course, we'll hop on for some Sunday fantasy reaction later in the day around 9:30 or so. And we will have trying to get a video released every day this week in the morning or at night. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for those uploads as well. Make sure you guys are going through and checking those out and smashing the like button on those as well. It really, really helps out the channel as well. But appreciate all you guys, man. On the road to 400 subscribers, this community just continues to grow. It's absolutely phenomenal to watch, man. You guys are just such an incredible subscriber base. Steve and I just can't express how thankful we are for you guys, and just watching this channel continue to grow day by day is just extraordinary, man. So I appreciate all you guys. Steven appreciates all you guys, man. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button on your way out if you didn't do so already. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that sub button, become part of the Catch fam tonight if you are not so already, and make sure you got the notification bell on so you never miss an upload or a stream. Guys, I truly cannot truly can't just express how much this community means to me, man. Ronald, the personal touch, I want you to grow, but I like the small community feel. Yeah, man, it is great, right? Just having this community of you guys where we can answer each and every single question every night. It's phenomenal, man. I love it. I love it, man. I love being able to connect with you guys on a daily basis. So shout out to you guys, man. I know fantasy season's already halfway over, but just the fact that you guys have been a part of my season and part of Steven's season, and we've been able to have so much great fantasy conversation with you guys is phenomenal. So yes, we want the channel to grow, of course, but we won't forget the OG days of the Catch fam, man. We will not forget you guys. We will always 100% have your guys' back. So I appreciate you guys, man. Stay tuned for Steven's kicker video. Like I said, should be dropping tonight. And then stay tuned for the weekly uploads and the weekly live streams as well. Got plenty coming for you guys to get you guys prepared for week 9 and forward, man. We got a lot of big fantasy matchups coming up, man. So stay tuned, guys. Let's see here. C-Dog, there's some streams where there are thousands of viewers and you can't even get a question answered. Yeah, and I know it's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. We really try to hit every single question every night when we do these live streams, and it ain't easy, guys. I'll tell you that much. And we're trying to do so with giving you guys the best fantasy advice possible, and we really truly want it to be the best advice from our perspective. So it's very difficult to accomplish both things. And I'm just happy that right now we can keep up the pace, man. And I promise that we will always strive to do our best to keep up that same pace no matter what it takes, man. So I truly am happy you guys can come to this channel and get that fantasy advice and have those conversations. And we will continue to find ways to get that tailored fantasy advice for you guys. But just know that we appreciate you guys, man. I can't. I mean, I know I go on these tangents every once in a while, but I just truly can't express how much it means to me and Steven as well to watch this community grow. So, like I said, we won't forget the OG days of the Catch fam. So that's a great way to top off the stream for the night. So I got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch, and peace.